Hey everybody. Hope we're having a nice night tonight. Um, so yeah, let's see if anybody shows up. It's Sunday night, so probably not, but you never know. Hmm. See, is anybody here? One. Marco Polo, you sober? LOL. Yes, very much right now. Surprisingly, it wasn't that bad. If you were to ask my girlfriend, I mean, I'd tell you, I was not hungover. I had to sweat that out a lot. I think I woke up enough early that for some reason I didn't get too hungover. I mean, I was up by like noon. Actually, no, I was up a little earlier. I think I was up by like maybe like 10:30 or so. So it wasn't too bad. Um, it's hi Gixer, Critter. Hello, how are you doing? Glad you stopped by. I didn't know if anybody'd be out tonight because I know it's a little last minute. So that's it though, Critter. I'm glad you weren't on Friday night. Good thing you missed a lot. That's what I can say, at least from what I remember. So the 11th commitment is not to grift on the Sabbath. Well, somebody's got to do it, especially because it sounds like YouTube has still left Nick suspended, which I think is ridiculous. But oh well. Um, Juby, oh, nice to catch you live. Well, thank you for being here. Yeah, thought I'd change it up a little bit tonight since kind of got a bunch of stuff done. Had an early dinner. Had a nice some grilled mushrooms, grilled zucchini, some chicken. Very nice. Very very nice. Um, Patricia, hello. How are you doing? Carlos, hello. No, you're usually yeah. Well, if you would have been here Friday night, it would have. So, yeah. Anyways, yes, I know, but the way things went, I mean, we were to like last thing I remember when I was into this bad boy, which almost killed. It was like 5:30 in the morning, and I was begging Hayden's wife to let him on, and I was telling Kiwi to um um Howard, how you doing? Karen bites, breaded. I took that one down. I don't feel that was I still think I have it partially recorded. Um, so yeah, I still have it. I don't know. I took it down off here. It's still on StreamYard. I still have it saved, but that was really bad. I kind of was embarrassed by it, so I got rid of it. It wasn't very good. Um, I can find that part where I talk about you, Karen, and I can put that part up or get it to you, but I'm not going to put it back up. Um, wait, over the FUD guest episode in regards to the channel strike, yes, it was. I think Nick thinks it may have been because of one of the knife fights he showed, or he showed some guys in Australia stabbing each other up, and for some reason, YouTube YouTube said like that's unacceptable verboten. So YouTube kind of drone striked him more or less over that. So yeah, he's out of action for that. But YouTube, I think he said it best. He's on day 9 of his 7-day strike or 7-day suspension. So who knows when they're going to let him back out. No, you did not miss the kebab. I didn't know. I mean, the kebab reveal, is that like the cannoli reveal? No, there was no cannoli reveal on Friday. No, it's just Friday got a lot of apple juice, was drunk. Lot. A lot more than I've drank in a long time. So, um, I might have somebody on just so they can help me recap a little bit. My friend Kiwi, because yeah, things got a bit sideways there to say the least. So, um, it's a great time to get Nick on my stream because he can't go anywhere else. Yeah, but I think he's probably driving back from Matsuri and probably still doing crap with his family. But yes, that'd be a great. I mean, that would be a hilarious way to do it if all the shows on YouTube had him on instead. Because we don't have the same rules as Twitch, where if you get suspended on Twitch, you can't go other ways. Well, here, yeah, we could have him on, and that's not a problem. So I think that'd be funny. Opinions on pizza rolls. Well, I am a fat guy, so yes, I do like them. Um, they're okay. You got to do them right though, because if they get to that point where it's like the plasma hot, that's nothing bad with them. 93 RT, saw it the other day. Good work, thank you. Yeah, wish there were a lot more of them than there were, but hey, you do them. You fight the fights when you can. Um, can you email me the part about good logic and this? Yeah, I'm gonna have to. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna upload and make it private. Hopefully, YouTube transcripts it, and then I'll get you that part because yes, I remember that part. Apparently, yes, he's a semi Joe. Joe is a semi, not Semitic, and he's a transformer. Optimus Joe. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that for you. Let me work on that, law nerd. So, oh, nothing happened with pizza rolls. I don't think so, unless I said something when I blacked out. I don't know. Um, I hope I didn't black out. Well, I know I blacked out, but I didn't say anything bad about pizza rolls. That would be not cool. Um, no, it's Optimus Joe. I thought it was what we came up with, Squirrel Master. um, oh yeah, they're good. Yeah, have them. Um, Karen, have you tried to get on their streams in the meantime? I'm very curious to see how that name goes. Um, I'm curious if they would ignore it. Just a thought. I mean, because I'm not gonna. I'm just curious. You got to let me know how that goes. Uh, wait. Okay, Cheney Garrett says, "How old are you? You either look 25 or 55. I'm 36. So almost part where I almost killed you for that massage. Okay, I thought that was great. Oh no, I got lit. Oh, holy shit! I got more lit than a road flare. That was bad. Oh, yeah. I woke up I think I woke up for a second at like 8 o'clock, and I was just like the room was still spinning, and then yeah, it was rough. Pizza rolls and ranch dressing. I mean, I don't. You can eat pizza rolls by themselves. I don't put stuff on them. Finn Dave, the drunk stream was amazing. Just saying, I'm gonna have to watch it at some point. Maybe I'll clip through it at some. Maybe I'll do a recap of it. um, Dude, you look rough. That's why I've looked forward to 4 years, 5 years. Ouch. Hey, listen, I've had like gray hair for like since I was like 14. Not like Anderson Cooper bad for the whole time, but no, I just my family. That's what happens. I just don't lose my hair. I get to keep it. So I guess that's the trade off. Um, thank you though. Uh, Angry Cops did an Angry Gun Memes review. Yeah, I understand why the YouTube's rules are you cannot show manufacture. And it wasn't like Brandon was showing one of his like the Kalashnikov brand or something weird he put together where he modifies the Tommy gun to shoot Tokarev, something like that, running off, Suomi mags. He shows a lot, and it's because the gun used to kill Shinzo Abe, that, pipe and duct tape monstrosity, doesn't require much skill. Like you could have figured it out by looking at the pictures, but by watching his video, you can kind of figure out how to build it. So I'm betting that's why YouTube got mad at him. And I watched the day it came out. Um, so yeah. So that's why I think, I don't agree with it, but that's why YouTube canned him. And yes, it basically his first time through, he turned that gun into a pipe bomb. Um, uh, who said talked about taquitos? They're not bad. Um, should Joshua Zavinsky be charged with 2 counts of felony murder for firing the warning shot that set everything off? I mean, yes, but I don't know how Wisconsin law would cover that or if they would allow for that conduct. But yes, I would argue if in a situation where people are carrying gun, everybody's not everybody, but a lot of people are armed. Tensions are very high. People are being very violent. Shooting a gun off and possibly, foreseeably causing somebody to get killed over it. Yeah, I think could make a lot of sense. Now, in Kyle's situation, though, he admitted, I didn't think whoever shot the gun was shooting at me. So that's why I think Zeminski wouldn't be able to be charged with it, because it's clear the act was not related to what he did. Now, if he said, "Oh, I thought I was shooting at me, and I thought it was the guy chasing me, so I turned around and plugged him," okay, well then, yeah, I think Zeminski could be charged and would have been very likely to be convicted. But when the other people involved don't think that was a problem, I don't think you'll get a very good. I don't think that's appropriate, but I don't even think if you're Binger, you're gonna win that one. And he would be somebody who'd want to win it. Haven't tried. Well, I'm not telling you to go do it. Do whatever you want. I'm not encouraging brigading or anything like that. But I was just curious if you tried to use that name on other channels. Um. Oh, hold on. Where did I miss the one I wanted to? Oh, I want you to. Jane's blonde. I like that. Yeah, Chili. He keeps bringing up your name. And he's always. I know he calls me a potential criminal, but you know, arguing with someone like Chili, I try to do it a little bit here and there and just point out he's got things wrong. He's not, he will spurg out over the first thing like, oh my God, they're going to dismiss the charges. And you go and look online, they're still there. Who's told you this? Like but like I said, in my one video, there are things, I agree with them on. I agree with them on the, don't talk to cops, don't consent to searches. I agree on a lot of that. I think Terry v. Ohio is a bastardization of the Fourth Amendment, and it frittered away probable cause. I don't think it's the ultimate thing. I think you have to go back farther. I would argue going back to, getting rid of a bunch of other cases would do a lot more to help. I think a big case overall is Harris v. Florida, where your police drug dog doesn't have to be shown to be meeting the standards. As long as it passed training, it doesn't matter if the dog messes up. There's no, you don't have to worry about calibrations for the dog. I think that's a bigger problem. I think a bigger problem is, for example, a DUI machine, a breathalyzer, and toxalyzer. That's all trade secrets. You don't get access to that data. Unlike any other scientific machine, you can challenge and contest. I think there's a lot of other places to go. Do I agree the war on drugs should be heavily restricted? Yes. Do I agree with him we should go Portugal mode? No, Portugal's a very small country. It also helps when you're dealing with a very small country, the very small set of people. there's a lot of things you can't control for comparing Portugal to America. Size alone's not it, but to say automatically that would work here, no. To say how it would work in some of the other countries, I don't think so. For the same reason, like tonight is whining, crying about these NYPD reports, and you can't extrapolate from the NYPD to the rest of the country. It's the nation's largest police force, but there's a bunch of other police forces in the it wouldn't compare to or be applicable to. Now, will you find examples of what happened in New York City that happened in other places? Sure, but to have some scientific reliability, it just doesn't work that way. Javi T, hello. Vape Dad 89. Um, and I even make guns for private use. Basic firearm takes, yeah, it does. It doesn't take much. Especially, well, even more primitive is a matchlock. That's even more basic. You can, if you understand how to, kind of do a little bit of bedding of a piece of sheet metal and a piece of like wire stock, you can make a matchlock, and that's even quicker. That's even more ghetto. Yeah, I watched the day it came out. You learn how to make black powder. Yeah, there's multiple ways to make black powder. He did saltpeter. You can use out of a stump remover. Potassium nitrate. You can use that. That's also a way you can use the stuff that and sugar cooked together can make you smoke grenade material. So if you ever want to make smoke grenades, it also makes the black cats too that explode when you light them on fire. A Binger would. Yeah, he probably would. Zim's a glowy asset. If he's a glowy asset, then they picked a really bad one because he's a train wreck. I think he's somebody they let out to be an antagonist and encouraged to go out there, but I don't think he's a true asset. He'd be left out on his own. Yes, I'm alive. Yes, I'm alive and doing fine. Saturday, though, was that was a lot of sweating to get rid of all that alcohol. How's the head? Fine. It was fine Saturday. Just a lot. Like I said, it was just a rough. Yeah, you can rubber bands and rocks with black powder. Heck, you can grind down. You could sit there and take a bunch of match heads and smash them with a hammer, then scrape off the red stuff on the back of the box, the primer thing, and mix it together, and you have a very shock-sensitive explosive. You can hit with a hammer and it'll go off. 40 people, geez, we're screwing around. Yes, don't forget to hit the like button. Appreciate it. Yeah, you can. Well, in some situations you can. Should Gage be charged with attempted murder? I think based upon his testimony, he thought he was stopping somebody who was going crazy. So, no. He thought he was stopping what he thought was a bad guy. So no, I don't think he would have that issue. So even then they wouldn't do it here, but well, little birdie, he talking to my old lady because other than talking to Kiwi, he got there. Yeah, I texted him like, how early did I get to him? How early? Okay, he texted me like 6:00, and yeah, like by 1, I was already texting him back. So yeah, I was doing all right. So no, I don't think Gage should be charged. I as much as I'd like to see him, no, I don't think that's fair and or honest under the law. Were Gage's beliefs reasonable? You're gonna get into it. I don't know. He said it, so he's in a rally and this guy just shot people, and he doesn't necessarily know exactly what went on because I would say, unlike Huber, where there's a picture of Zeminski, Huber, and Rosenbaum all standing next to each other when they're in the the gas station earlier in the night, they all know what's going on with each other. Like I know Huber knows what Rosenbaum did, But does Gage? I don't know if you can tie that to Gage. I think you have a little bit of an issue there. Yeah, it's too bad you were grounded because we could have had some fun. But get some sleep, man. Well, actually, it's like 7:40 a.m. there, plus 5. It's like noon, 1 o'clock, like Monday for you guys. So, oh, let's see. 93 RT. What'd you say? Michael and Dad scraped off a bunch of red match tips and put it in a little glass file. Yeah, that can do it. That can do it. You know, that stuff in a match is very sensitive when it's ground up. Yeah, so I really didn't have much like set on the agenda for tonight. I don't know what you guys were wanting to look. If you guys anything you want to look at or anything you want to talk about specifically, I was kind of up for it, and I just really that's more or less why I came on tonight. So, um, I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, Gage is a yes. It's 9:43. I thought you were like 15 hours ahead of me. Oh well, okay. Um, I mean, we used to do that as a kid all the time. Um, yes, I did that. I think he. Well, yeah. Well, he's in Australia, so he's in the future. So yes. Um, yeah, but I think part of the issue is just Biden's got a weird face. It's kind of like George Bush. You know when George Bush would talk, and W would talk, he looked like he had like beady eyes, like they were just like somebody took a Sharpie and just like all over it. Um, I just think he's a goofy looking dude. It doesn't help. I mean, he's always been kind of goofy looking, but when you get older, people like his face is all stretched out. I bet he's Botox before. You know, he's kind of it just he just looks weird, and I think old people don't look well under cameras anyway. Do I think he's slipping in gear regardless mentally? Sure, but I don't know if I go as far as to say that's a deep fake. It's just he looks weird under the camera. Um, so I mean, at least not now. I want your salt and pepper beard for real, bro. I'm working on it. Well, give it time. Give it time, man. Once you have it, you'll get. Once you get it, you'll get it, and then you might not like it. Um. Oh, I don't think he's had it recently. That's plastic surgery is rough on people, but to get anesthetized into your like late 70s, that's very risky. So no, I don't think he has had it. I mean, I could see him getting like Botox and stuff, but I don't think it's that. There was a challenge to the Michigan taser law. A man up north was arrested for, well, that's one way to challenge a law is to actually violate it. Um, yeah, the sad thing is though, it's sometimes for you to challenge the law, you got to get in some serious trouble. So yes, carrying a concealed weapon like that, which may be a serious charge for this guy, is a way to challenge the law. And in fact, the Hughes Amendment, when it had been passed in the 90s, there were multiple people who had built a machine gun and walked into an ATF office and said, "Hey, I built this," and they got charged under 922.0 for making a machine gun. And then they were like, okay, and they knew they would lose at the district court level, and they'd raise stuff on appeal, and the appeals courts would squish them. So that's the issue about being a test case. It may not turn out that well, even if you think it's good case law. You're right. Old people don't look good on camera. Yeah, she does. Except that one day she's at the beach and her boobs are hanging out. It's like those are huge. Not bad. Not bad for an old. Not bad for an old lady. Um, time to cut the grass. All right, well, have a good one. Make sure you don't run over your feet. Yeah, we haven't actually. We can go back over that if you want to, Howard. We can talk about that one again. Um, yeah, that definitely is very sketchy. I don't like that they did that either, but the Delaware State Police are not, the Delaware State Police are not the most freedom friendly people, period. Anyway, um, so that's yeah. Here, I mean, we'll go over it again real quick. I don't know if you must not have been here when I talked about it. Oh wait, I got to answer this one real quick because I don't think this is a correct answer. This needs to be corrected. Okay, Tweety, there's no such thing as fake. They're real enough to touch. They're real. Um, but anyway, getting back to this. Uh yeah, Howard, and yes, this is the one you're talking about, right? I know I covered it
Warrantless
before.
ATF agents showed up on the front porch of a Delaware man's home, demanding to see his firearms. The agents claimed they were investigating straw purchases and that the man had been flagged in their system after making a large firearm purchase of a whopping 2 guns.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I'm doing is verifying that. Look, verifying that you have it. You got 2 different purchases.
Yeah, I mean, really, best thing you do is tell them go away, go get a warrant. There's no obligation for them to speak to you. I mean, if the cops thought they could get into your home without your permission, they wouldn't have knocked. They would have come thumping on your door with a search warrant, demanded to look for stuff. So really, that guy should have said, "I got nothing to tell you. Leave me alone. Please go home. Please go away." Now, I understand it's rough to do that. It's hard. I mean, it's hard. You're kind of caught off guard, and the cops are there, and you're kind of panicking, and um, it sucks. It's not easy to do. And this guy, you can tell he's a little kind of taken aback by things. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to think about that stuff. But yeah, you can if they're asking you for stuff, it's because they don't have it. Can we search your car? Well, it's because they know they can't search your car. If they thought they could, they would have told you get out of the car and searched it anyway. Um, and some people it's you probably haven't mentally well, if you're not mentally prepared or haven't thought that situation through, you might get caught off guard. So, and he's got 3 cops standing out there. It is intimidating, and they're standing there and they got guns and yeah. So, I mean, this guy ended up showing them the serial number they wanted to and they ran off. It's like, I'm not going to fault the guy. Do I wish he would have, told them please leave? Sure. But it's a tough situation to be in. And, you do have the right to cooperate. That doesn't mean I think you should. But once again, it is a free country. You have the right to You have the right to cooperate with them, or you have the right to tell them no. Now, if you do that, do I think that sets precedent and gives them the authority and think they might do it again to other people in the future? Yeah, I think you're kind of setting things up, and I don't think you should ever cooperate with the police unless you have to, and you're forced to. But that's personally my thought. You may disagree, and if that's the case, then we agree to disagree. Um, so Um, let me see here. Oh, you're an anytime it shows up in my shop. Oh, you're an FFL. Well, yeah, my heart goes out to you having to deal with this crap. Um, Pelosi has nice bags. Yes, she does. Um, they can kick rocks like KIC, like keeping a criminal. Yes, kick rocks, but also yes, you can tell the police to kick rocks. Tweety, that's a dope. Nope, nope. See you with a warrant. Sure, that's totally correct. Do you think they were really investigating the dealer he bought them from? Who knows? It's the feds. They lie. You can't trust them with anything. Anything they come to you with, they tell you the sky's blue. You should check anyway. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I don't know. Maybe this is. Who knows why exactly they're at this guy's door? So, I mean, I would presume if they come to you, you should presume whatever they're telling you is bullshit. Um, The only thing hard is the ATF looking for rights that shouldn't. Yeah, pretty much. Don't disagree with you there. Tin, hello. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Um, we need to check these serial numbers. See, now I wouldn't say that because then they could argue that's a threat. I know it's a joke, but I hope nobody thinks should really say that, especially to police at your door, because at that point they probably would be able to be justified in saying we're kicking it in to come get you because you can't threaten us. And because I don't know if he's Delaware State Police or ATF, you know, then you're dealing with did you threaten a federal official? So, yeah, just tell them lulls and get away. Um, Yes, who said that? Yeah, I can't let you in the dogs here. Don't even bring that up. You don't have to go down that road. Just say sorry, you can't come in. You say, I decline. You could say, please go get a warrant. Leave my property. Come back with a warrant. You could say, ha ha ha, stupid piggies. Come back with a warrant. You could start swearing at him too. I wouldn't recommend that. I just say, look, go get a warrant. Please get away from me. I mean, that's all you have to do because you know what? If you just say on camera, look, guys, I'm not giving you anything with a warrant. Please go get one. In the meantime, please leave my property. You sound very nice, very reasonable, very rational. So when this video gets out across the world, people think, oh, wow, this guy was okay. Now, then if you come out there screaming, fuck you, feds, um, you still may be legally right, but people are going to look at you weird. So just something to think about. Um, have you seen the video of state tasing an ATF? I don't know if I've seen. I've seen the one where in Cleveland or Columbus, they arrest the ATF agent. What I think is hilarious because he gets all fired up on him and wants to attack him. And he won't put his hands up and he won't comply, and they throw him on the ground. I thought that was hilarious. Um, um, so um, here. You're saying hold on here. How do you feel about the Eric Brandt case? Is he the guy who was filming the police stop in Colorado and ended up getting arrested out of that? Because I think that's the guy you're talking about. I'm not sure though. Because I've heard of it, I don't know 100% about it. So, um, although the way I understand it, right, he did end up pleading out to it. Um, I think that's the issue. Is I mean, I haven't seen the full videos or exactly everything that was done, but I'll have to take a look at that a little bit more. Good Citizen, if you can send me some more info, because I don't think I know about it, but I don't know about it. I'd love to learn more. How about we do this? Send it. I gotta hold on. There, I put my contact in there, my email. Send me some stuff. Because if you got more stuff, I'd like to take a look at it. Good evening, Sir Kurtz. How you doing? I wonder if the fact you have NFA items changes what I can tell them if they show up. They have to have a warrant to inspect your stuff. Okay? They have no automatic right to search your property or your items just because they're federally, taxed. You can own a M2 heavy machine gun and they don't have the right to come inspect it. Why? Because there is nothing that allows them to do that. Now, they have the right to go get a search warrant and say we believe something may have happened to it or whatever. They're allowed to go then check it. If they can get a search warrant, then yeah, you got to let them in. But if they don't have anything like that, then you don't have they don't just get to come in. If you're an FFL holder, though, if you own an FFL, you're an SOT, then yeah, you have inspection requirements. If you happen to have a explosive magazine, so let's say you own a destructive device, and you have to have an explosives magazine as part of it. I don't know exactly the finer ins and outs of that because now you're getting into the more esoteric, not esoteric, but just the more limited regions of the NFA and ATF law. There might be some differences there because now, I think they do have some rights to inspect blasting and whatnot. But generally speaking, no, if you just own a suppressor, an SBR, a short belt shotgun, any other weapon, a destructive device, or a machine gun, they don't automatically have the right to come search. Nowhere gives them that right. Juby for $2, super sticker. Thank you very much. I wonder if there's at least a super sticker is not popping up for me. Maybe it showed up on YouTube for everybody else. Oh, Kurt's back on. Hope he had fun after his bar. So, oh wow, I'm glad you didn't get involved in it. Yeah, stay away from that at all times. Unless you've got a written immunity agreement from your local U.S. attorney. Yeah, he's in prison now, 12 years for words. Yeah, but I think I'd have to see what happened really before I got too far into it. Can the ATF arrest someone? Yes, they can. They are federal law enforcement. They are duly sworn. They carry firearms. Generally speaking, if that person carries a gun, they generally have full arrest powers. But yes, they're a federal agent, just like an FBI agent, just like a DEA agent, just like an IRS agent, just like an SEC has some people, believe it or not, who can arrest. Yeah, Secret Service agent, they can do it. Yep, totally. What should they do if you have a search warrant? You call your lawyer? Sure, but they're still going to be allowed to come in. If you called me and said, "Hey, man, they're at my house," I'm like, "Okay, do they got a warrant?" Yeah, I'll, if I can be available, I would come over. But generally speaking, even then, I show up like I'll be standing on your porch with you saying, "Well, they're searching." I'd ask the officers, "Can we have a copy of it? What are you looking for?" Stuff like that. But if they've got a search warrant, you're, just kind of like if you're on the side of the road and they're about to arrest you. That's not really prolonging anything. They're going to still do their thing. So if they got a search warrant, jig's up. Now, yes, your attorney could show up and say, okay, what's being done and how are things being handled? Sure. But the fact they have a warrant, well, the warrant's going to have to get litigated out in court. Are Ford Escapes considered NFA items? No. It showed in chat. Oh, okay. I didn't get the chance to see it. I wanted to make sure it wasn't like, something there I could, because usually in StreamYard it does not show up. So, oh, okay, I see it now. It was a little fox. Okay, they just don't show up in StreamYard. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. If they show up and they got a warrant, there's not a whole lot anybody can do. Don't answer the door next time. No, I don't necessarily think that's the right answer. If they're there, you answer the door saying, "Who are you? What do you want?" Okay, go away. You don't want them to sit there and say, "Oh, we thought we heard somebody yelling for help," because then they can make entry and they can claim it's an exigent circumstance. And also, if they knock on the door and you're not there, they might come back later. So you're not really helping anything. Just say, "What do you want?" Okay, nope, go away. bye. And that way it's recorded. There, you acknowledged it. Go away. Don't come back. Without a legal reason, and that without a warrant. So that's how I'd recommend you do it. Just kind of like make fun of Chili DeCastro. Like, the cops are trying to ask you questions, and you just don't say a word, and you just shove that piece of paper in their face, and you just stare straight ahead and ignore them. Well, no, just say, look, I'm not answering you anymore. Please leave me alone. They ask you questions again. I'm not answering anymore. Please leave me alone. That's make it verbally clear what you're trying to do, because then there's no way the court has to interpret what your actions were, or it allow, if your actions aren't clear, the prosecutor could say, well, he didn't make it clear. He was saying, go away. I don't want to talk to you. That's why, you should do that. Okay. Because then it's clear. No, I don't want to be a part of this. Leave me alone. Then there's no confusion at all what you're trying to do. If you're an FFL, it does. Yeah, if you're an FFL, you surrendered some of your rights, and that's regulatory inspection, but that's generally with any sort of licensure. So, yeah. Could they stop you from video recording the search? Well, generally, if the police are searching your house, you're not going to be allowed to follow them around. There's going to be times where that happens, but generally speaking, like if the cops are looking for drugs in your house, you can hide drugs in a lot of places. You're not going to be allowed to roam the house with them or follow them around. Like I said, it's all going to be depending on the situation. You can ask, but and just like if they're searching your car, you're not going to be allowed to sit there, poking your head in the passenger side window while the cops searching your car on a traffic stop. Try it. The worst he can tell you is no. Now, what I would tell you is, get these things filmed out, and then, have your camera filming while you're standing on your porch. And if you can film in the windows or film inside the door, watching what's going on, or if you're standing there in your car, on the hood of the police car leaning up against it, film that cop searching your car. Yeah, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. I just don't think you're going to be allowed to sit there and film them while he's like, rifling through each one of your papers or whatever. I hope that answers your question, Howard. I'm not 100% sure that's what you were asking. I hope it is, because I hope he answered it. I don't want to give anybody the wrong answers or answers that don't make sense. So Sorry, I was trying to. Somebody sent me an email. Always refuse a car search. Yes, you always refuse to search a car. You don't have to give a reason why. Just saying, I don't want you to. Why not? Because I don't. You don't have to give any reason at all. Just say, nope, you're not. Why? Because I said so. Just like sometimes in the cop, you get to make that decision. Why not? Because what? Because I decided you're not going to do it. I would just be careful about saying that your dog's bitchy or something like that, because let's say they feel they have probable cause, or let's say the cop decides he's got probable cause. Maybe he's wrong to search your car without a warrant, and he's worried about your dog, and now you've told him your dog is bitchy and possibly dangerous. That can end up your dog getting hurt. And now he's got you. He can claim, well, she told me the dog was a bitchy female in heat, and that, I'm not wanting to get bit, and then something happens. So I would be careful about that. Just tell him straight up, no. The officer's like, hey, can I search your car? No. Why? Because I said so. Like that's good enough. Why? Because I said no. That's a good enough answer. Leave it at that. My buddy was suspected of drug smuggling. He took apart the interior of his car, found nothing. When they gave it back, they literally just threw the seats back in. Yeah, they don't have to put your car back together. They pull all the panels off. Now they can't damage your car, so like if your car has panels, they can't just rip them off and strip the screws out of them. They have to take it apart because otherwise that's a takings issue. They deprive you of your property. But yeah, if your car's got paneling and they can unpop it and pop it out with all the clips and stuff, yeah, they can give you a pile and say, here you go, have a good day. I mean, they search your house as part of a search warrant. They're not putting everything back the way they found it. They're searching and that's it. So they're not going to put anything back together. Tweety is sure like throwing your dog under the bus. Yeah, well, it's better to throw the dog over the bus than under the bus. Or throw the bus under the dog. It's because Sean said so. Because Stone Cold said so. Hold on. We got to do that. Now we're here. And that's the bottom line. Here we go. I mean,
that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. That's the bottom line.
Oh, make sure you guys could hear that one. Good Citizen Media, thank you for what you do. It's appreciated. Oh, you're very welcome. Hey, I appreciate people stopping by. I appreciate people liking, all that. So, I mean, here's the thing: if they really want a warrant, they're going to go get a warrant. They say come back with a warrant. They know that. I mean, if they really want to, they'll go get one. Or if they really do want one, they're already securing a warrant. That they've got a cop already sitting there with a prosecutor working on drafting a warrant that's going to go in front of a judge. So if they really want one, they're already going to get one. But I could say no, because I don't have to let you search me without a warrant. And then he might say, well, we don't need a warrant sometimes. And I'll point out if that was the case, you'd be doing it already. So I've made that argument before, dare you to go get a warrant. So, I mean, you're not going to necessarily pop it in the back of their minds. They're already thinking, well, do we have enough to go get a warrant? Is this worth getting a warrant over? So I get that, but I think you're getting a little too worried about what they're thinking or what's going to happen. LOL. Yes. LOL. Oh, what else is here? I want to say, Good Citizen, I was looking at your stuff real quick. You got a lot about the 4.7 Dodge. Just checking you out real quick. Oh, crap. What did I get clicked on? I got stuck somewhere. Hold on. My internet froze up. Uh-oh. Are you guys still there? This isn't like working, I don't think. Uh-oh. Did I just get like... Oh no. Oh no. Are you guys still on here? Oh, you guys are still... Okay. Whew. There's such a slowdown. It's like, crap. Nothing showed up for a minute, so either that or you guys were just quiet. Oh, you're still here, still here. Okay, you're still here, still here. You're here, Captain. Okay. Porn? Sean is on Pornhubs? I mean, I might go on Pornhubs, but I'm not like on Pornhub, although I've thought about uploading all my crap there because since you can show porn on Pornhub, nothing I say there would be objectionable. So I might put everything there just to protect it. There was a gun channel, In Range TV, that was actually doing that for a while. They were uploading all their stuff on Pornhub because look, it's all within Pornhub's guidelines. I can tell you're an active. So I was watching that, but I saw all your stuff recently about your Dodge. So hope you get that sorted out. Also, Betty, hello. I didn't see you come in earlier, so thank you for being here. Oh, hold on. We got you, brother. What was this? Oh, I did see this earlier. There is one. I guess we can watch it. These dipshit kids stealing a car. I thought it was interesting, but phone companies back in the 80s conspired to split the country evenly when the monopoly got busted. Yeah, that's there are a lot of problems in America with corporatism, and yes, breaking up Ma Bell into the Baby Bells kind of helped, but it didn't really help too much at the end of the day. Although, the joke's on them because they all died. They pretty much died with the cell phone revolution. So, so instead of like Ma Bell, we've got Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. So it's like, yay. So it's kind of better. Hi, Glitter. How you doing? Say brothers Hulk Hogan. Brother! I think it's the best I can do there. Yeah, that's the best I can do. That's the best I got. We can probably... it's long, cuck. We'll still watch it. I haven't watched this one yet, so I'm kind of reacting with you guys to it. Come on, share it, goddammit. Data is ridiculous now, expensive, and unlimited is never unlimited. Well, they can tell if you're running a ton. Yeah, they'll try to throttle you. But I remember, yes, back in the day before they realized people were doing what they were doing and you could do all kinds of crazy crap. Yes, that was pretty neat. Or when I was in college, the amount of access to high-speed internet we had, there were no limits on things. So we're in college, and yes, I'll talk about my days of, real quick. We're going to go to this. Yes, back in college, I used to sail the 7 seas and hoisted the black flag on many a thing. Yo ho ho, if you get my drift. Yes, on many a thing, and they had great internet access. So, you wouldn't download a car. It's like, I would if I could have, but I still downloaded your music, so fuck you guys. RIAA. So I guess we'll kind of see what this one's about. I wonder how good it is. Oh no. I went to an Ohio State University. I went to Bowling Green. I would never go to Ohio State University. I would never go there. That is a horrible place. Filled with people who spell with their hands. They love nuts. They love putting nuts on their faces. They worship nutting. It's like some weird Coomer cult down there. So no, don't like Ohio State. I graduated there in 2008. Al Mencken was not an anarchist. He is very ANCAP-y. But yes, he's very true. Yes. Yes, going back to full circle. Yes, I can now 3D print a car. Yes. I did love those commercials over. It showed like the loser guy sitting there like downloading music. It's like, no, everybody was downloading music. Or, downloading a movie to watch. Like my fraternity house, we used to do that all the time. Like, hey man, we got this one downloaded. Cool. And some of them were really ghetto bootlegs where like you could see the camera moving and people in the rows getting up and down. So there were some, I don't know where my one guy knew from somewhere else got them, but he had like bootlegs where it was like they must have the camera up there viewing along with it because the cameras never moved. You didn't see people. It was kind of neat. No, Bowling Green, Ohio. Bowling Green, Ohio is where Bowling Green State University is. Western Kentucky University is in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yes, yeah, that Bowling Green by Toledo, yes. And I went to law school in Toledo. Yep. Oh, okay. Well, have a nice night, Howard. Take care. Yes, an anarchist with a monetary policy. I mean, that's pretty close. That's pretty close to it. Well, let's see what these kids do. I'm kind of curious. If it's big enough to get on TV. Well, there's a lot of things you can do with a bowl in Bowling Green. Especially when I was there. I didn't do it, but a lot of kids were using a bowl. Not for a sport, though.
Open the door on the outside. Yep. Driver, with your left hand, open the door on the outside. All the passengers, keep your hands out of the window so we can see your hands.
This is going to suck.
Now, exit the vehicle while facing away from me.
Wait, these kids are just getting arrested? Oh, that's boring. I thought there was going to be like a chase or something. I don't really want to watch that. That's just a bunch of kids doing something stupid, but they don't run away. So that's weak sauce. Sorry, we're not going to watch that. That's not fair to you guys. You guys deserve the action. You guys deserve the entertainment. You know, it's the least I can do for you people for being here with me. Well, if they were smart, they would steal Hondas or Toyotas. That's not the case anymore. I mean, Kias are very common. They've got a lot of parts. There's tons of Kias on the streets. So, she already pointed her gun, bad cop. I mean, that's a felony stop when you're dealing with a stolen car. So, I mean, not really, especially if she's by herself. There's multiple people. I mean, I bet she by policy, if she didn't do that, would also be in trouble. But no, that's not excessive force there at all. So I mean, sometimes yes, but I think she did fine here. And I know we showed it. I mean, we could show this one again. So, hot take, there's no functional difference. I mean, not really anymore, but they all have different parts you have to use. I recently had my car shipped its parts from a body place here in Ohio. Oof. That's bad. Hold on here. I watched an entertaining little chase on Long Crime involving a scooter. Yeah, maybe that's there. Huh. Maybe it's there to look at. Let me see. Cock scooter. No, I don't see it. Ooh, this looks interesting. Guy in a tow hitch. Apparently this guy's got a tow hitch. I didn't see the one with the scooter, Dweez.
Put it down.
Ooh, that guy took a taser hit. And
I'm calling right now. Yeah, I need you at right away.
okay, we need to skip to where the 911 call stops.
I think that'd be for 1033.
No. Says he's in the grass by that car.
Oh, wow, I cover it up all the way here. I like this.
I think your husband wants you to go home.
Yeah, I just parked here.
Go ahead. There he is.
Okay, where is it? Come on.
Put it down. Tase.
Okay.
Put it down or you're going to get tased. You're going to get tased. Put it down, man. Put it down. Put it down. Put it down.
Oh. Oh.
Put it down. Put it down. Put it down. Down. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now. Get on the ground.
I mean, this guy just got shot twice and he's still not on the ground. That's kind of impressive.
You got comms?
I mean, or that means the cops missed. I'm not sure.
Get on the ground.
Yeah, he's still like up. He's still up. He's still up.
Yep.
Oh, and then he goes down. Oof.
Yep. Shot. There he is.
Yeah, oof. What did he do here? Oh, he died at a local hospital. Oof. Well, don't take your trailer hitch to a gunfight. So, yeah, what's that guy on? I don't know. That's a lot, though. He just took 2 shots and was like, and just stumbled around for a bit. Oh, the DoorDash one. What said it was in New York, so that's why somebody tried to. Okay, that's maybe the one you're talking about. Then, yeah, I did see that one. Yeah, I did see that one. Now, they claim she sped off, but I am not 100% sure that's the case here. You know, as much as I like to say this happened, I'm, well, let's see how bullshit this is. Okay, well.
I'm
doing DoorDash. Yeah, I got my title and everything for the bike.
You need a register. You need a license plate for it now, so you can use it.
I went through it. You can see on the DoorDash thing and everything. I can use.
Okay, yeah. Oh no, she doesn't have the registration on the back of her bike. Like, yes, you should make sure you're all kitted up. But yes, they're going after her for that. This is
the bike for DoorDash.
I'm sure if you ask the people on Friday night, now they'd say I'm being a sovereign citizen by saying it's a little ridiculous to stop this woman over that. But
picking up a delivery right now. Yeah, I'm doing delivery right now for DoorDash. Yeah, was it a problem? It tells you.
Yeah, because you can't have this on the road.
But it's on a sidewalk. It's a 49. It's a,
you come across.
yeah, it's a 49 cc though.
Doesn't matter. If you're using it on the road, you have to have it registered with New York State.
Do you have any paperwork for it at all?
Yes, I do. I can show you right now.
Yeah.
Yes, I can show you right now.
I can see your license.
Headquarters to trust floor. I should have put my shit out on this. This is crazy. This is how you. This is y'all. Y'all got the camera on?
hold on. Would a cop shoot you if you came out with a big rock? I mean, a rock can be a deadly weapon if you're trying to be violent with it. Yeah. Well, yeah, that guy wasn't. He was drunk. And sounds like there was a domestic issue, and he was causing problems, and probably threatened someone else with it. So, yeah, there's not a whole lot in that story. So we can look it up later. People are calling police brutality. Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, you have the water, right? Y'all need the water? Yeah. I'm gonna do it. I know exactly.
What on Saturday? I was at the water.
I wasn't there. I was there, but I seen somebody was getting a ticket.
Okay, I don't. Okay, great. Yeah, she's going to be looking for documents. Okay, here we go. Ah! What the fuck? Like, okay, if you're gonna run, because I bet she could probably outrun them or get ahead a little bit, but like pushing your like 300-pound moped down the street, you're not like an NFL lineman where you could probably do that at a fast pace and jump start it and go. I mean, geez, come on. I'm sorry. That part's funny. She's like, oh, and tries to run like. Although I do get it. If she takes off, they're going to take her moped and have it towed and impounded. So, yeah, I guess, but it's almost like if I was doing this DoorDash stuff, I'd be leaving that thing like on strip alert, just running all the time. But yeah, there she goes. I guess we'll restart from there. And she's off.
Main question is registration on the vehicle.
I mean, like that. I'm sure those two cops are like, what the fuck is she doing? Oh! Oh my god. I mean, I'll give them credit. I thought they were going to like knock her over and tackle her or something. But she didn't even fall on the ground. Like, that's pretty good on their part. They did not brutalize her. So I give them points so far.
Come on, I'm doing it. I'm not assisting the arrest. I'm not assisting the arrest.
Under arrest. You're under arrest.
I'm not assisting the arrest.
You kind of are, though, if you're trying to put your, like, you're not even at the point where they're trying to, like, break your arm. It's just you won't let them give you your arms. Like, okay. Well, let's see.
I'm not back up. Yo,
keep recording, man. Yo, sister, loosen up. I am. Sister,
Yo,
you's a hoe, dog.
That's a girl, by the way.
Yo, you's a hoe. You's a hoe. I'm gonna back up. Don't touch me. You scared too? I'm scared. Yeah, you scared too. You scared too. You gotta back up. You gotta back up. You keep running.
You gotta back up. No, you back up. Okay. Yes, I do. I think the cops should be able to scare people away from, like, at least on top of them while they're working. Yes, because I want people behind me. But, okay, the guy's away from you. Don't keep trying to back him up. He's given you enough room now. Now this cop, if he tried to arrest this guy, I would say it was a bullshit arrest. He's been warned to stay away.
Up on me. Keep recording me. Keep recording me. I'm gonna back up because your partner's a. He slammed a girl for no reason. After she's on the floor and you're standing over there with on the gun the whole time. Like I said.
Well, it wasn't for no reason. It's when they said the game's over, she refused to agree the game was over. Like I've told you guys before, even if you think you're right and even if they're 100% wrong, if they tell you the game's over, the game's over. You're not going to win right there. So go to get arrested, take your ticket, go to court, get somebody like me or someone else, or someone better than me. I don't know. I don't care who. And then you deal with it. But you aren't going to win right there.
What you are? Yeah. What you are? Get high. What you are? You had your gun. You had your hand on the gun with a female. He slammed on the floor. Whole entire. You and him. You're scared. You're not from around here. You're raised in a white neighborhood, and you're scared of black people.
When he got the water with the other guy.
Yeah.
Attacking that black girl.
Yeah.
They don't attack. Y'all attacking that.
As long as you don't touch me. Touch me, I'ma sleep you. Touch me, I'ma sleep you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the best policy to start talking shit like that, but okay, apparently, you can get away with a little bit more in New York City than you can, somewhere other else. I mean, if you try that in a smaller town, you might have got cracked in the face.
Touch me, I'ma sleep you. I'm not her. Touch me, I'ma sleep you. Not gonna do nothing.
Okay, the cop is right. He's not going to do nothing. As I learned from somebody way back as a kid, he keeps talking shit, but yet all he's doing is walking away. So
I'm not taking information.
Yeah.
Yo, it's crazy. Don't come my way. It's crazy. Don't come my way. Yo, my God, that shit is crazy because it say that I'm doing delivery on my I already saw slick back and slick back say just don't drive fast. You don't want that.
You gotta back away. That's his phone. His phone? Thank you.
Crazy.
Oh, like I gave him his phone back. That's nice.
The same one. You were tagging as a female. Don't worry about it.
I'm surprised they just let her sit there like that, but I mean, she's not the best escape artist so far.
Because my uncle's a cop. You did that. That's so sober. I just reminded you what I did.
So.
On camera. I hope your camera's on that shit. Yes, you guys never took us. My uncle gonna get his. It doesn't matter. I remember these.
I mean, really, it's not excessive force. She tried to run away. I mean, I do get, though, from her standpoint, yes, it is kind of ticky-tack. Yes, she's driving a moped. Okay, it may not have registration, she may not have a license, but in reality, like, she runs into you, you kill her. I mean, everybody else in a car, so she might dent your car. Like I said, do I agree that, this is kind of like revenuing almost? Like, is this... I mean, like, if they're down to, like, policing this, it must have been a boring day. But, they do have the right to do it. So, it is what it is there. But yeah, I mean, she knows that they're going to take her moped. I don't think she's going to get very far. So, and obviously she didn't. They didn't even throw her down. They kind of stopped her and yanked her off of it. They also ended up, I mean, it did hit the ground. I bet it's probably scraped up bad, but that's probably still an operable vehicle. So they didn't ruin her moped or ruin her ride. So it's not like a takings issue. I mean, that's a pretty decent arrest. Oh no, that's not a cultural thing at all. You could do this. I mean, you go to southern, go to rural Ohio. You get, people upset the cops are harassing them. I'm just, that's the thing. It's, I guess, yeah, in this case, there is a racial element, but you can go to a situation where it's a white cop harassing a white guy, and you're going to get a similar thing at times. What you really got to do this? Is this enhancing justice? Why are you after people? Why are you trying to revenue and just like, oh my God, there wasn't a tag on the back of the moped. Oh my God, crime of the century. So, I mean, yes, in this situation, go to, Kentucky, go to Hee Hawville, Kentucky. You probably get a similar result. Yes, I did hear that where she told the cops she's not trying to get away. Yes. People make bad decisions. Yeah. But a lot of people, like most people who end up in court, are decent people who make a bonehead decision. I bet that woman's a very nice person. She's probably a good person. I'm not saying she's Mother Teresa, but just like all of us, it's just in that moment she kind of panics. She's like, oh my God, they're going to take my ride. So yeah, she made a boneheaded decision. That's what happens. Oh, where is it? I hope she already delivered the food. I don't think she had the food yet, hopefully. Yes, that'd be great for somebody on DoorDash keeps wondering where their order's at. They're like, why is my order at the police station? That's not Manhattan. No, it's in Yonkers. That's one of the other boroughs. Well, actually, it's in Yonkers, New York itself. So that's not NYPD. I mean, she's traveling. Yes, she's an Article 4 free inhabitant. Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, Glitter. I mean, let me put it this way: nobody's ever happy that they're getting arrested. You never get arrested at a good time. Just like if you have a warrant out for your arrest, and I've explained this to clients before. The danger of having a warrant is it's never at a good time when you run into the cops. You've got your kids with you. You're on your way to work. You might even be at your job. You might be with family. You might be doing something important. You might be on the way to X, Y, or Z. It's never, the police never ping you on a warrant when it's like a 3-day weekend coming up and you can go sit in court till then and like things are all work out or everything's gravy. That's the point. It's never a good time to get arrested. So nobody's ever really happy to get arrested. I mean, unless you're like, hate your wife and you're like, I'm going to go away for a couple of days. Or, I mean, that's kind of how you have to look at it. Well, yeah, that's kind of just assimilation 101. Doing what everybody else does helps you blend in with the group super quick. She got a ticket. Now she's getting arrested. Well, no, Deweese, she would have got a ticket and they probably would have impounded her moped. Especially if she doesn't have an unregistered vehicle like that. And it doesn't sound like she had a license. I'm not sure though, but it didn't sound like she had enough paperwork for it. They probably would take that. So now she'd lose it. So it wouldn't have just been a ticket. So I paid a ticket for 8 over. I paid a lawyer $750 and then a $350 plea deal. My God, where do you live, Marco? $350 for 8 over? Jeez. Charles, and I get that, but some people do. I mean, there's no rules not to, and it's not like you can make things any better or worse. And I mean, if you thought you were going to get arrested on the spot, you'd probably be pissed off too. So it all depends. Live on the internet. Yo, yes. What's up? Stabby. Hey, at least you're here. It's better here than being a non-existent bundle. Don't do food delivery the first time I tried. Oof, that sucks. So they were just going to take her scooter. Yeah. And then you have to pay impound fees. I mean, they're going to impound your vehicle. And then when you finally get to court, which is not going to be anytime soon, you'd have to get this registered and released to an insured driver. Well, that's going to take a couple of days, and trying to get that back, that's probably going to cost more than what that was worth. I mean, that's the issue. That is one of the things I do not like. Your car gets impounded. Well, they impound it. Then there's impounding fees because, and I've always had an issue with that. They decided to take your property, so they make you pay to get it back. And after a while, if you can't afford that, well, then you can't get your property out. That's the, I get the idea of well, then don't commit the crime. But at some point, they took your shit and then they're forcing you storage fees on it. It's not like you voluntarily let them do it. I mean, that's where, so she's going to get boned on that. Oh, in Texas? Geez, yeah, okay, everything's in Texas is expensive. Everything's bigger in Texas, even the speeding fines, I guess. What is the United States Book of Codes? There really isn't a Book of Codes, but there's the United States Code, which is, all federal laws. Then you have the Code of Federal Regulations. I mean, here's, I guess I'll just show this. I mean, when people say the book of codes, U.S. codes, I'm not sure what they're getting at here unless they're talking about this, but that's the problem. If you're not explicitly stating what we're talking about, there can be a bit of an issue. So this is an example of like the book of code, the United States Code. It's got everything in here. These are all the federal statutes. Then there's a code of federal regulations, which is every agency has its own internal regulations and rules. And then those are in a separate thing. So when people invoke that, that's generally what I assume they're talking about. But they might be wrong and making up some gobbledygook. Oh, hi Shannon, how you doing? She must have. She was super. Yeah, she thought the cops were going to be too fat to go after her. And you know what? I mean, think about it. If you're standing there and they're going to try to arrest you and they don't know who you are yet, and you think that you can outrun the cop, I mean, it'd be tempting not to make that decision. Especially when it's not like your car sitting there, you're on the street like that. And if, there probably are quite a few cops in that department or in New York City you could probably outrun because they're kind of fat. So, I mean, not saying to do it, but you'd be crazy not to think about it. Much like if you found a cop and he came up to you with a peg leg on. You're like, can I outrun this guy? And you might be able to. Yeah. NY fees, yeah, it's gonna be very expensive. New York State alone, it's very expensive to commit a traffic offense, but in the city, it's gonna be rough. I bet by their department policy, like they have to impound that stuff. Generally speaking, they do. And maybe it's up to his discretion. Who knows? But I mean, let's be real. It's probably going away. Yeah, she's going to be having a tough time there. She's probably never getting it back. Yes, but when people say the U.S. Code of Laws or Book of Laws or Book of Codes, that's generally kind of, you get a little bit like the sovereign citizen thing. It's not always clear what they're talking about, but yes, there is a United States Code to look through. It's not necessarily bureaucratic. I mean, there is an issue that if you drive around and you're driving an unregistered vehicle and you're uninsured and you don't have a license, and you hit somebody, you cause an accident, well, you can just like run off and nothing happens to you. Especially in a car, you could really hurt someone. With a scooter, could she hurt a pedestrian? Probably, but in reality, she's going to hit another car and, she's going to get killed or crippled. And yeah, that car might get banged up a little bit, but the car's not going to get totaled. But also, if you're driving a car, you should have the right to go after the person who drove like an idiot and ruined your car. I mean, sure, your car might drive well, but if your bumper got ripped off or your fenders and quarter panels are damaged, you have the right to get those fixed. And not at your cost, make their insurance pay for it. So it's understandable on both sides of this. But yes, was this the end of the world? Should they have really gotten involved at that point? I mean, I don't know. If I was a cop, I'd have let that one slide. I wouldn't have gotten involved. I'd have just been like, I didn't see it. In which U.S. state is it illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket? I don't know. But if that's against law somewhere, I would try it. Just to see what would happen. Chris Collins, is there some point here? In reference to what? They did not treat her like someone from town and give her a little break. I mean, in reality, they might have, but more than likely they wouldn't. I mean, in their defense, they could have let her go. They could have. But I guess I'll say it like this, Marco, and I've said this before to people, and this is advice I've given to clients. You cannot count on the benevolence of the constabulary. That's you really can't count on the police to be kind or cut you a break. They might, but you should always be prepared if you break the law or commit an infraction that the police or whatever regulatory body you're dealing with will deal with you. I think it's a little goofy to do that, but you should be prepared. And that way, when they cut you a break, great, but you shouldn't be prepared or expecting a break from anyone. So yeah. So in Lexington, the government has okay, well, maybe next time I'm down in Lexington, I'll take a picture of that and send it to the police. We'll see what they do, and I'll give them my information and show I was in the city limits that day so they can establish jurisdiction. God, that's got to be one of those old laws that people forgot to let go of, but I'd love to know the reasoning behind that law. Health and safety or regulation or what. Something must have happened somewhere for somebody to think that was a good idea. I probably would have Larry come defend me for that one. I would. I wonder if he that would be hilarious. We could film the whole thing. I didn't get to this one yet, Jim. Sorry, I didn't see it up there. I was going through them, catching up. The Morgan and Bartholomew pirate code. Yes, that's a good code to stick to as well. What's up? What's up, Adam? Saw you on Friday night. So yeah. Anyways, get in touch with me. We could talk about that one a little more. So hold on. Where was this? Okay, Graham. 18 USC 1111. I thought murder was handled by the states, not by the feds. Well, yeah, murder's illegal under federal law as well. I mean, think about it. Like if I'm, like we're gonna like. You have to think about it like in certain terms, though. I mean, murder is the unlawful killing of a human with malice being aforethought. But under federal law, you have to commit things in the federal government's jurisdiction. So right now, whatever state you're in, most likely you're not under federal jurisdiction. Okay, if I kill you on an army base, okay, well, I'm not a member of the military, so the Uniform Code of Military Justice does not apply to me. If I commit a crime on a military base, for example, Fort Hood in Texas, and I kill you on base, I'm not subject to Texas law because Fort Hood is not part of Texas. I mean, it's inside Texas, but it is not governed by Texas law. Texas police don't patrol it. It's not a part of Texas under law. So you can commit murder in places where the government, the local government doesn't have jurisdiction. If I go into a national park and kill somebody, well, that's federal land. Or, I think here's a great example. If I kill you within the maritime or territorial jurisdiction of the United States, so the territorial jurisdiction, if I kill you in Guam, yes, they can pass, Guam could have a government pass laws, but let's say there was no territorial government there. Okay, well then who did I kill and, who can hold me responsible? Well, the federal government can. So that's why that happens. I hope that answers it. So yes, you can commit murder, but if you commit murder just like walking down the street and you shoot somebody, the feds aren't automatically going to get to be involved. But, let's say you're walking down on the steps of the Capitol and you shoot somebody. Then that's federal jurisdiction. Same reason why everybody in January 6th has been charged as the United States of America versus so-and-so. And it's not the District of Columbia, which is its own governmental entity, or, but let's say DC was part of Virginia or Maryland. It's not the state of Maryland then versus that person. It's the federal government. So that's why that is. And I hope that if that doesn't make sense, let me know. I'll explain it further. Totally fine. Wear red for the Cardinals while you do it to really piss them off, their rival. Oh, in Lexington? Yeah, I'll wear all kinds of Louisville stuff, and maybe I'll wear I'll wear the Cardinal hat. I still have to order one of those. I remember us talking about that. That's okay. Some of the topics from Friday night got a little fuzzy, but I remember talking about, because people are like, "Oh, you need a Pope hat." I'm like, "No, I'm a Cardinal. The Cardinals hold more. The Cardinals hold more power than the Pope, and the Popes who are smart know that." So I'm talking to the Pope right now. I'm going to be a Cardinal. You better watch out. I prefer the Morse code. It's a very succinct code. Very short. That's very true. You asked for parlay. It's general principles of self-defense. So, I would show that, I would, right at the top of my head, I don't know, but I would assume under general common law, there is a duty to retreat, and I would operate on the premise till you found out otherwise. Because that way you can at least show, look, I tried to retreat. Now, remember, duty to retreat doesn't mean you have to run away from the guy attacking you once he's attacking you. You just have to show, look, I wasn't trying to start a fight. I was trying to get away from this. I was trying to leave, and he didn't let me. And then it happened. So that's where I would argue you do it. Territorial jurisdiction, yes. We got we got people getting upset. Okay, thank God Fort Hood was a gun-free zone, yeah. Helped out Major Hassan quite well. All the power. Yes, you have to say Louisville like you have a handful of marbles. Louisville. Yes. It's Louisville. It's where the lulls go. It's better to have the retreat not need it. I mean, I would always argue avoidance, de-escalation, and are your best things to do. Avoidance, deterrence, de-escalation. Yes, do everything you can to get out of a situation. Just because you don't have a duty to retreat, you should still probably try to get out of that situation before it gets bad. Sure, the law may be on your side, but it's far better to go through your life without having to have one of these situations occur than have it occur and then have to deal with it. Louisville. That's how I look at it. And then Louisville. Roll your tongue backwards when saying it. I don't know. Hold on. Louisville. There. I think that, I don't know. I try to roll my tongue and do that. Jurors are enigmas that will look at it regardless. Yes. But if your state allows it, if your state says you don't have to, that can work in your favor, because then you may have acted in clear difference of the law. Louisville. I live here. Ooh. There's your name, Larry, by chance. So next to the Pope, you're a cardinal who represents the Spanish Inquisition. Are we limited to Catholicism here? If not, I call Jibs on the Jedi. Oh, you can't. Ooh. I mean, if you know Nick, that's a no-no. The Jedi are evil, and I think the Jedi are bad too. The Jedi are space ISIS. I mean, they're literally ISIS in space. They have like little madrasas. They take their kids and train them to be little. They have children warriors and children soldiers. They're religiously fanatical to their text and their traditions. And they view other people and other religious issues as like apostates that they have to exterminate. They feel that at war with the Sith. They feel they are the vanguard for the Empire, which almost makes like the Republic at the time like a theocracy. They were like a religious police. The fuck? Listen, Hayden, you want to come on and tell me I'm wrong? I'm happy to do that, but I'm just telling you, man. I can give you the nice answer, or I can give you the real answer. As an attorney and fellow barrister here, fellow man of the bar, I'm trying to be honest with you. I want to give you the correct answer. I don't want to give you the nice answer and say, "Oh yeah, it's okay, cool, Star Wars." No, the Jedi were space ISIS. They're bad guys. They're dangerous. Yes, space ISIS. I don't know, because that's really just another brand of Jedi. So, just listening to feminists makes me respect the Taliban more. Okay. Yes, instead of saying aloha snack bar, they say hey there before committing a Jedi attack. Spices. Jedi groomers. Yes, a lot of grooming. Yeah, and they do. They abduct children they deem appropriate, and they take them away and let them join their little cult. Yes, but yes, they are space ISIS. And the rebellion uses them. They use these religious freedom fighters. It's like a weird type of civil war where it's like, you're killing me. I'm just dropping knowledge, guys. You know, just like the idea that I think all kids should die. I'm just saying. You're killing me. What about the Easter Bunny? Any issues there? I mean, there's a rabbit. Like, I don't care about the rabbit. Rabbit ain't hurt nobody. So, the Padawans, no, they're like Jedi cat boys. T-boys, yeah. No, they're Jedi cat boys. Yeah, the Dark Forces games are pretty neat. They are pretty neat. They only take prepubescent kids. Yeah, you're right. And so yeah, you can call them space Nazi space groomers. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it is. Yeah, I you know, and I've thought about it at times. The Sith are kind of like very libertarian. Like, you get kind of like told, "Hey, you've got this power," and then you kind of have like your own mentor, and you do your own stuff. Yeah, and you explore it on your own. It's kind of like Freemasonry. You do it, you kind of get brought into it, but then it's on you to do your own growth and development. So yeah, maybe they're like it's space ISIS versus space Freemasons. The Jedi Proud Boys. Okay, the Proud Boys. Yeah, don't compare the Jedi to the Proud Boys. That's not fair to the Proud Boys. As a member of ISIS, I concur. Hate by pulling up a PETA tweet about Steve Irwin. Well, I like Steve Irwin, so I don't necessarily want PETA bagging on him. What have I walked into? God, what in the world is real? Sith are on the autism spectrum of libertarianism. No, they're not. I mean, like, rogue traders might be from Warhammer, because they're like the epitome of like libertarianismness. Um. Okay, Dubs. I'm not gonna. Yes. Jeez. Jeez. Yes. Yes, there is some good footage from the Battle of Portland as well when Rufio Panman did his thing. They had the big street battle. Um. Don't call me Sith. I mean, I'd rather be a Sith than a Jedi, but I'd rather be neither of them and fly an X-wing or something cool. I'm surprised they didn't make a movie portraying the Sith as the good guys who were trying to end the CRT force training that the Jedi were doing. I mean, yeah, but then you end up with something like Wicked, where the Wicked Witch is actually the good one, but it's kind of like a play. Yeah, I mean, not necessarily the good guys, but they were doing God's work. So, yeah, Base Stick Man, yeah, he did his thing. So far we've understood: don't steal Kias in Florida, and do not. I don't know why I'm still holding trimmer. You cannot run the cops by pushing your moped. You're not that, especially if you're a lesbian. You're gonna get jacked. You're gonna get arrested. I definitely would not want to be a farmer on the planet that need moisture harvesters to get water. Yes, that would really suck. Well, it's a planet. Don't I feel like 3 moons where they lived? That would really suck. Is the guy Rufio Dex still in a coma? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, supposedly he died. He had a brain bleed. I find that very I can only assume that Portland would have gone after him for that. The Multnomah County prosecutor would have prosecuted for that, and I don't ever remember hearing like people, being sad that guy, like pro Antifa thing, saying like he got killed. I mean, when that one dude got shot up for attacking the building, he shot up the ice building and tried to light it on fire. They martyred him, but they didn't martyr the guy who got slept hard. So I don't think he's dead. Yes, they are. Every time a Sith Lord gets power, what does he do with it? Free the slaves on Tatooine? Nope, they go full retard every single time. Okay, that's fair point. We have a very limited skill set to work with. Although, yes, basically it's a 60 or 70 year time span where it keeps happening. So, yeah, like I said, that's what I was thinking too. People would have been like, they would have remembered him, and he would have been memorialized forever. So yeah, I don't think he's dead. I can understand. SC wanting magic words to take cops leave him alone. Yeah, and you know what? There are some sovereign citizens who truly, they've been down in the dumps. They've been, the system hasn't worked out in their favor. Maybe they really have been abused by the system and it hasn't worked out for them unjustly. So yeah, the idea that there might be some way to fix it and fight back, it's, that's kind of alluring. But it's also the same reason why when you see these ads, I remember you used to see them all the time on the internet. Doctors hate that Sky can do this one neat trick, or financial planners hate this one neat trick, or so-and-so hates this one neat trick. Same reason why Miss Cleo made a ton of money. People want to believe. They want to believe there is something out there that can help them. There is a shortcut. There is that elixir. There is the fountain of youth. I mean, that's hardwired into all of us. Really deep down. Now, some of us, a lot of us are really good at sensing it's bullshit and moving on. But to be fair, we've all been taken in by some bullshit thing once or twice in our lives. thankfully it's been something kind of minor or something kind of goofy, not necessarily something that makes you look like an idiot in front of the cops or a court. So, they're not that much more different than us. It's, they're a little more gullible, maybe a little dumber, but to act like you haven't been in that realm, granted you didn't like dive headfirst into it, but you definitely put your toes in that water of stupidity at some point. That's kind of what I would say. Why would you try to burn down an ice? Char. Funny guy here, everybody. Funny guy, Luke. Very, very funny. Yes, there you go. This trick is bankrupting Big Pharma. Yeah. Lol. Okay. What is your opinion of Sheriff Grady Judge? I don't. I mean, I've watched his press conferences, but I also know people who have lived down in Florida, down in his county, and yeah, he sounds big and bad and great on the cameras, but he's just like any other politician at the end of the day. So I'd always keep that in mind. Yeah, giving her drunk friend her car keys back. Yes. I mean, if you know she's drunk and she shouldn't be handling a vehicle, yes. If you had the authority to stop it and the ability to, yeah, it's not like she got home. Like if you walked your friend home and they passed out and they passed out and you're like, you left the keys and locked the door behind you on the way out. That's one thing. But the way she did it, where she knew her friend was still out and about and, gave her the keys. Yeah, that one's different. I think she's on the hook for that. I mean, to what level? Okay, we can argue that, but you have a duty to minimize harm to society with your actions. I'm not talking about potential actions, but you, by doing a specific act, have the duty to minimize harm to your community. Okay? So, yeah, if you're giving a drunk guy his keys back, you should be thinking well, can this lead to something? And sadly, that night it did. So, I seen the just. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, Justin Ross. Here's the guy in the car. Yeah, I mean that one. Yeah, I think it's fair because they basically said this guy's a piece of shit and he shipping his wife and he's a bad guy and oh yeah, his kid died. I mean, they really turned it into they character assassinated him. So yeah, I think that one makes sense. It should be overturned. Like if you're going to convict him for killing the kid, prove he killed the kid, not that he's just a turd. Give me tricks. I'm a misanthrope. When someone proclaims a virtue, I usually assume the opposite. When someone says they're honest, to start looking for the lies. Yeah, that's sometimes not a bad idea, but you just gotta careful how much you look at it that way. Jim says, "Are we all sovereign citizens of the United States?" I mean, are you talking yes, the concept of popular sovereignty that we as an individual endow the state with our powers and basically give the state the authority to use our power? I mean, like in a really philosophically esoteric way, or like super philosophic way. Yeah, you could say that, but I don't think you'd say you're a sovereign. I mean, yes, if you're operating under the the state of man and everybody's running around on their own, pure anarchy. Yes, you are your sovereign. But that's a horrible world to live in, where you're running around fighting everybody all the time. The state of war and state of nature, like that. That said, though, you are correct. We have allowed the state to our rights drastically over the decades, and yes, 9/11 was a pedal to the metal on that. But as some people say, well, society said it's okay, so that means it's okay if society says it. Hello, Miss Dinga Dinga. You know, the big pharma always makes me think of the Richard Ojeda guy. Yeah. But there is a big pharma, there is a big business, there is a big industry. I mean, people wouldn't most of you guys here would say there's a big tech and that they work together and that's kind of a force. There's a pharmaceutical lobby and a pharmaceutical force out there. So I don't think it's that unreasonable to call it big whatever. Um oh, do you mean to mean you have the responsibility to? I'm not sure. I refuse to be my brother's keeper. He is tarded. Yeah. Yeah. Um, that's also that's a good set of advice. Not co-signing for people. Yes, that lady. Yes, the cops had said like, well, you can't go any further. You're done for the night. Take her keys. And then, yeah, she gave the keys back. I forgot about that part with the cops. Yes. So yeah, it's even worse. The cops have said you shouldn't let her drive. And yeah, the cops tried to help her out and do a solid by not arresting her. And then her friend goes herp burp burp and gives her the keys back. Now, if she's smart, she's going to say like they threatened me, or something. So, what is the purpose of the police they're on duty to protect? Well, they would argue their duty is to protect society as a whole. But I think you have to argue at some point if you won't protect the individual, how are you going to protect society? Because society is comprised of many individuals. So yes, at the end of the day, it becomes law enforcement. Yeah, you don't have to do anything with the keys, but you're responsible for anything you actually do with them. Yes. But also it's easier to say, I don't want them. But also if you say, I don't want them, the cops might say, then fine, we're arresting your friend. So that might be the trade-off. Are you willing to keep your friend out of jail for the night? Okay, like I said, your friend might go to jail then that night. But even then, it's not necessarily turning them into a child. There are tons of responsible relationships adults have with each other. So it's not that uncommon in society to establish them. Hello, Sessy Man. Oh, thank you. Dumpster Bros. Yeah, hold on here. Yeah, the okay, what Abilene, Texas, and what county? We got to figure this out. Abilene, Tejas. It's in what? Abilene County is a city, and Abilene is a city in Taylor and Jones counties. Okay, let's see here. Taylor County Clerk, criminal case search. Okay, Taylor County, Texas, all courts, criminal case records. Miller, Michael, search. We should see here. Hold on, what are their names? Texas dumpster shooting, Texas. Come on, internet, don't do this to me. John Miller. I forget it's John and Michael. All right. Michael Anthony Miller. Okay. Yeah, we got to go back. Okay, public access. Miller, Michael. Open only. Search. That'll help. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, hold on. All right, we're gonna go back. We're gonna open this up. I'll let you guys search along with me. Michael. We'll do open. Share. Los Chromo, I think is how you would do this in Google. El Chromioso. Los Shiny. I don't know, my Spanish is not very good, so I apologize in advance. All right, gotta organize my shit a little better. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna search. There's only one. There can only be one. He lives on Don Juan Street. Okay, that's kind of funny. Let's see here. Motion for disclosures, jury trials. 8/22. So not till August 22nd. And oh my God, don't tell me that's that date. Shit, I think I have a deposition that Friday of that week. So guys, it looks like August 22nd is the date and the time. So here we go. That'll be the date. August 22nd. So not anytime soon, sadly. Yeah, there's. Oh, I've heard about him a little bit. Yeah. Take your swing. Abilene to Austin. That's a long drive. Yeah, that's like 3.5 hours. It's like 200 miles. That is a very, very long drive. So yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Yes, let him do it. Yes, I'm not from Texas, but as somebody explained it to me there, everything is measured in hours away. Ethan Ralph should be in there. Yeah, that'd be great. Going from New Zealand, from top to bottom is like 9 hours. Jeez. Well, yeah, but there's also, you have to take a ferry to get across part of it, don't you? Yeah, going across Texas is kind of like that or even longer. Sam Elliott. Well, it says he's not dead. Sam Elliott is an American actor, not was. So he's still alive. Not. I am back. Well, thank you for being here. Karmasaur. Hello from Japan. Well, hello. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Don Juan Street, I know. Yeah, okay, and that's probably still holding under federal law. And you know what? I may have found that a long time ago when I was doing research, but yeah, there's not every restriction, not every place is a duty to retreat. So, actually, I think I know about Brown because it was an attack in a post office, or they were building a post office, and there was like a knife fight between some workers. I forget all of Brown, but I think it was something like that. Yeah, Graham, I know it only took a couple minutes of searching, but I'm like trying not to search as I work. So, any Mr. Medicare fans in the house? Yeah, he's not bad to listen to every once in a while. Oh, it takes 9 minutes to get from that one end of the North Island to the other? Wow. Maybe I don't know about that. There's maybe a little more lore than I know. I heard he's sick, though. I hope he gets better from that. Tin Tennessee, you're a new member. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Yes, JC, thank you as well. I know you signed up on Friday night. I'm pretty sure I remember you doing that. I don't know for sure. It was a long night. It was a very long night. I found a second wind like nothing before. If you place New Zealand over the United States, wow, from Tallahassee to Lake Erie, that's a long way. Maybe. Does seem long. So, well, still, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I always fall asleep during streams. Well, I'm surprised I got through what I did, so. Damn, I hate this when you click the wrong thing. Oh, I didn't forget about that. The LG22 whatever. Yeah, that part, that's dope. Couple $100 for a fucking D-ball clone. God, that makes the Russian Purse look like bullshit. I don't know if when I was telling you about the Purse 4, Google that shit. I mean, it's like non-FDA safe lasers and whatever, but yeah, the HoloSun D-ball. I forgot I need to look that up. HoloSun D-ball. There's a battle he's gonna fight Jim. Oh, I know he's gonna fight. I think isn't he fighting Andy Worski or something like that coming up? Isn't that supposedly one of the fights he's supposed to be doing? Any good cases I can share? Nothing really good right now on my end that I can disclose. How am I not a member? That's poor on my part. Tell me this: do I need to be a lifer to be able to kick your ass at Halo? No. God, it's been a while. It depends what Halo we talking about. Like Halo 1? Like in Blood Gulch? Ooh, I don't think you're ready for that, man. Some of the newer Halos, I haven't really... I think last time I did multiplayer was like some Halo 3. You can play it squad. Take you to the training range. We'll play in the kill house. We do some Counter-Strike. Jim will... Your words, your mouth, your lips to God's ears. Oh. I guess, Adam, yes, there is crime that, yes, in a community full of black people, who are going to be the victims, and those crimes will be committed by black people. And traditionally, in crimes with white communities, white people are going to be victims of white people. So, I mean, yes, there is a crime thing, but I mean, I would argue that's still more of, that's an issue of a community's been kind of neglected, and that's the bigger issue at the end of the day. But ooh, SOCOM 2. Ooh. That would be interesting. When we lock out on our end, but wow. Well, we're doing some stuff. I mean, if we're going to do this, let's do some Team Fortress. Like, I'm talking about old school Team Fortress, Hayden. I don't know how good you've done that, but, pick up the sticks. Let's go. We'll do that one night. The Law Patrol became a YouTube member. Thank you. And, you guys are my members. I got to work on figuring out what to do for content for you guys. I think maybe I'll give you a tour of the studio, all 8 feet by 10 feet of it. Old meme. LOL. We could do some Quake World, or we could do some Unreal Tournament. But my monster kill. Yeah, I played the fuck out of Team Fortress back in the day. Half-Life 2 deathmatch? Oh, come on. You gotta do Half-Life 1 if you're gonna do that, man. Yep, Unreal. Where the ballers ball and the players played and the pimps pimped and the hustlers hustled. Some good days back then. It's always pants optional. Like I said, it's a fairly libertarian thing here. Maybe society decides you need to wear pants, but not here, friends. No, I've not played Red Dead yet. I need to get that done. It's on my list of things. Yeah, but if we're gonna play with the gravity gun, you got to do Gary's mod. That's more fun, playing around with the gravity gun there. Duke Nukem 64. No, Duke Nukem 3D. That's the good one to do deathmatch in. Pants or leg prisons. Yeah. So Michael Amiot, yes, guys, I got to figure this out starting. Well, it might not be tomorrow. It got to depend on what my schedule looks like. I plan on showing that trial as much as I can put it together. I got to get all the parts downloaded for it so we can air it without it being too big of a mess. I will spoil it for you, though. He did get convicted. The jury convicted him on Friday. He got convicted. I think it was well done. I think he deserved being convicted. So couldn't happen to a nicer guy. So, I mean, what do you want to play in the stacks? I mean, you gotta be careful. I know the invisibility code. We'll call Magic. Hey, hello from Southwest Florida. How are you doing? Huh. I never did the original Red Dead Redemption multiplayer. I completed the game and I thought that was a pretty good one. So you could do like Mech Warrior. That'd be a fun one too. That was always fun multiplayer. Actually, going back to this, power weapons in the stack. I don't think you're ready for that. Don't think you're ready for that. Yeah, I've been told it's great. I gotta get into that one. I've been told it's great, and from what I've seen of it, it looks great. I like the fact you can basically just go off and live in the woods on your own, and that's apparently part of the game. I think that's so cool. I think it's very funny. It's very like you can go be a libertarian and just go live in the woods. Oh crap! It's 9:30 already. Jeez, 2 hours. 2 hours, folks. Huh. Oh, I have no doubt I'll like the second one. I have no doubt I like the second one. No doubt at all. Yep, that was a very good one. Make your own moonshine as well. Yes, untaxed alcohol. Yay. What more could I want? Oh, and there's nothing in here, guys. It's just iced tea tonight. And before people ask, it's unsweetened iced tea. I don't drink sweetened iced tea. It's unsweetened. So, I do like the taste of tea. So, I'm not sure what it is, but I know a lot of people like tea, but I really do like tea. So, we'll just, that. You're slightly younger than me. Do you remember the cartoon Mutant League? Not off the top of my head, no. And I remember a lot, so. Pong. You could do like Pong and Missile Command. Those would be fun. Yeah, I think Yeah, Earl Grey tea is really good. I mean, just a nice black tea is always very enjoyable. Um, some of the Asian teas like jasmine tea and some of those other ones aren't bad either. But yeah, just regular, just like generic tea that you can buy in a bag. I think that's perfectly good. But yeah, some of the breakfast teas are they gotta have to strike me as like the perfect time to have them. But yeah, just general, a glass of iced tea that's unsweetened is hard to beat. Um, is Delete Laws a convicted felon? No, not that I'm aware of. Uh, he's got some charges he got as a kid, like when he was 18, which I know he keeps talking about. But I don't think since he's been the last 20 years or however he says he's like what 47. Yeah, I don't think since I think he said his last conviction was like at the age of 21 or whatever. So no, in that time frame of being 21 till today, I don't think he's actually had convictions of stuff. So, and the ones prior to that are not felonies. So I don't believe he's a felon at all, unless there's something out there nobody knows about. But I don't think that would be possible at this point. Um, so I mean, he allegedly has some restraining orders against him, but nobody's ever produced them, so I don't know if they're true. And until they're true, I mean, just like anybody else, even if I think he's a bit of a douchebag, I tend to think that's a bullshit claim till I see otherwise. Because if somebody's got the receipt, that receipt should be out there, sitting in some courthouse somewhere somebody knows about. Now, the other stuff, yeah, got convicted of shoplifting, got convicted of, using a false ID or giving somebody false info. And then, yeah, there was that whole issue about him having GHB, which I think in the one video recently, he talks about like having like an ounce of it, which that's a lot of GHB, and he talks about possessing a ton of like, this idea that he wasn't making it or whatever. Well, I mean, I will be real. Like, you don't just roll around, with your own bottle of GHB. And I know he likes to think it's a drug that helps sexually, whatever. Okay, sure. He can use whatever he wants with that. But I bet that whole getting raided by the SWAT team thing had something to do with the GHB, if we're honest about it. And he got a diversion program. So I don't know. Did he narc on anybody? Did he drop a dime? I mean, that's a serious crime. So who knows? But I can tell he's definitely not a felon from what I know. I'm not a big green tea. Not a big green tea guy. It just, the taste, just something about it. Yeah, I remember the Sega games. Yup. She meant Earl Grey representing. Yes. Yeah. He's good too. Earl Grey's good as well as his tea. Yes, it is. This is GHB. Yeah. Chili will tell you, oh, it's a sex drug. And it turns you into some sexual Don Juan or sexual tyrannosaur. Nobody who's ever worried about getting GHP, it can be used to, cause problems. So, oh, and it is a depressant, and I have read before it's used to treat narcolepsy. So, like, hey, Nick, have you thought about using GHB to treat some of your not being able to sleep issues? So just something to think about. But yeah, it's used to incapacitate people, lower their inhibitions, a lot of stuff. Hope that kind of answers your thing right there. Well, she has the documents, but I don't think I've ever seen them. And I haven't seen them on the other channels that talk about them. So until I see them, I can't really comment on them. We'll see how things play out in Ironton. I mean, here's the deal. If he ends up getting arrested and he gets brought back to Ironton, as long as I have the time to do it, I will figure out a way to get down there and watch it. I mean, I will file motions with the court since technically, as Nick pointed out to me, I am myself, me here. I am a journalist now. because I cover newsworthy events. And maybe I editorialize, but still a journalist. I will file the paperwork to get me in there too. I can film it. I don't know if the judge will grant that, but certainly I'll show up as a journalist, a member of the public, and it will be a public court hearing. I'll have the right to be there, and I can take notes about what happened. And then, if we have to, we'll get a copy of the transcript, or we'll get a copy of the recording of the hearing, and we can share it with the world. But no, if he does and I'm available, I want to be there for it. Well, there's Rohypnol and there's other things people can use, but yes, GHB is used generally to lower the inhibitions of women. What about that incident when he got arrested and was talking about wiping his phone? Yeah, that's when he got arrested in Ohio, and he had talked about, like, maybe I should wipe my phone. And it's like, he talked about trying to wipe it remotely, and somebody pointed out that's evidence tampering, and yeah, he didn't do it smartly. Somebody in the audience gave him a smart recommendation, which he did follow. All right, Glitter, well, have a nice night. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, definitely be doing it. Yes, and I have heard there are times where people can use it for other purposes, but yes, it's also generally used by scumbags to cause things to happen one way or another. A lot of them to rapey things. So, yeah. Yeah. And that's also the issue, taking ecstasy back in the day. Although ecstasy, I know some people got sick and died from it, but, from what I understand, a lot of those people had underlying medical issues that either they didn't know about or got exacerbated. So, I mean, I think the ecstasy thing was kind of overblown. Became like an overblown panic. At least that's my understanding of it. Grapers, yeah. Yes, a lot of grape is a crime, kids. Oh wow, 2 hours in. 2 hours 17 minutes. Jeez. Yeah, so actually, Law Nerd, I'm surprised you said do it. Do you know about Chili? It's kind of interesting. I didn't think you guys, some of the people on LawTube really knew about this guy, so it's kind of interesting. Let's see here. Trying to bring stuff up. Don't. Oh, I remember what I wanted to. XTC Panic. Grape. Tell us about it. What am I telling you guys about? Chili should have a kiwi farm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Chili can handle the autism of the farms working against him like that. But yeah, I am surprised that hasn't popped up yet. I heard about Chili from you. What a jerk. I mean, yeah, he is. And, some of the ideas he's trying to push for, I don't think are bad, like I said. But the idea from him comes, in his execution and tied in with his other beliefs. Like, yeah, he doesn't believe he's a sovereign citizen, and he claims he's not, but he holds a lot of sovereign citizen ideas. He's like, well, where's the corpus delicti? He's trying, who have I injured? Okay, well, you can have crimes that don't injure someone directly. That's you don't have to have an injured person to actually have a crime. I mean, you can injure society and cause harm to society. For example, DUI. You get caught driving drunk, which getting caught is not the preventative, it is a reactive situation. Well, you harm society by driving drunk because that is dangerous. So you don't actually have to hit someone and kill them to get in trouble. Okay, well, Chili's like he's a big retard with meth mouth. And fake tans a lot. Wears Sally Jesse Raphael glasses. Watch one of my videos on him, you'll learn about him. Is there anything that actually works? I mean, of the stuff he's preaching and pushing for, I mean, yeah, like don't talk to the cops. He says that all the time. That's great. That's true. Videotape cops. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. If you see them and you want to film them every time you see one doing something, nothing wrong with that either. So yeah, some of that stuff works, but that's the very basic ideas is what he has. The rest of it doesn't work at all. Oh, hold on. You guys are asking Chili. Okay. The guy's name is Chili DeCastro. His real name's Jose, but his nickname is Chili DeCastro. And he's a, intellectual constitutional law scholar. And he pseudo-intellectual is what I would call him. Thinks he's the smartest man in the room, which is a sign you're dealing with somebody who's truly stupid. Because anybody who's truly intelligent realizes they're far from the smartest man in the room. The execute problem didn't start until cracking down on importation in the 90s, and people started making bogus disco wafers using meth and heroin dangerous. Yeah, I'd heard about that, but even then it was still... Yeah, I'll take your word on that, because I mean, I was like, in the late 90s, I was like 14 years old, so... Yes, Jose Maria de Castro. Yes, Sean. Okay. I saw that. Yeah, if you don't talk, you're more likely to walk. That is 100% true. And Tin, I know you're new around here, but yeah, shutting your mouth's the best thing you can do. If nobody talks, everybody walks is generally true. If nobody talks to the police, then everybody's going to walk. So yes, very, very true. Your dad is a very wise man. Oh, they'd still put fentanyl in it today to save a little money. Yeah, but if you start doing fentanyl now, you're going to really get the federal government's attention, and you're really going to get people coming after you. The girls, yeah, but in Spanish culture, in Hispanic culture, and Latin culture, that's actually not an issue. Sometimes it's a family name or a name involving a female. That's not a ha girly man thing. That's a cultural thing. So no, that's not a I was in the clubs in Chicago from 89 to 01. I bet the 90s were a fun time. They seemed like it for most people. I don't really pick them apart. I just point out where there's issues. And like I said, I will give him credit where credit's due. Just like the other guy, Direct D. I know I got really drunk, but I know I covered his thing first where he told the guy quit doing the field sobriety test. And he's right. You shouldn't do them. And then he pointed out that guy was making him do the heel-to-toe walk without a line on the ground. Like I said, Direct D caught on some things there. And yeah, some stuff he gets right. But when the stuff he gets wrong, it was massively wrong. And he thinks he's right, which, I mean, kind of makes for a dangerous combination. Yes, I know, and Chile was talking about that one makes it aggravated. In Ohio, it's considered aggravated. Generally, the possession of methamphetamine is an aggravated possession. Okay? There's also other ways you aggravate it. If you do it and there's children around, or you do it near a school, or you do it and there's other situational factors that occur, you can elevate it, and it's not merely just possession of drugs. That's why it's called aggravated. I understand, but Chile doesn't know, and instead he just, does... Yeah. YouTuber Chile. Yes, he was. He was arrested back at the end of March. And it's part of his saga, and then he skipped town. I will say in his defense, the one bond condition that he wasn't allowed to interact with the Ironton Police Department or be around them. I think was overbroad. And I think in his defense, he could have argued that if he had not run away. The idea you're not allowed to be around the cops. Well, if the cops show up and you didn't call them and you're allowed to be there and you're not breaking the law, I think that's a valid argument that that's overly broad because the police are allowed to go everywhere. So if they show up, you have to leave. The police are allowed to pretty much go everywhere they want. And, they're allowed to be in public areas. They're allowed to be invited to things. So if they show, if they're invited somewhere and you show up and they show up with you, like you have to leave. I mean, those ideas of staying away orders can be weaponized. I don't like that. And I think he had a valid argument to argue it was way too broad. It wasn't fair. It wasn't practicable. But instead, he ran off. There was an allegation of bond violations. But it was an allegation. Yes, the prosecutor was going to try to get his bond revoked. That doesn't mean the judge was going to grant it. I do think he could have made that argument. I think the judge would have to say, okay, well, actually, it is a valid argument. And okay, maybe he would have gone to jail. But for somebody who I know in one of his videos, he had a whole video about Martin Luther King and the letters from Birmingham jail. Martin Luther King wasn't afraid to take a pinch for the cause. The minute Chile got threatened, he up and feet don't fail me now. So, I mean, you can tell everybody you're down for the cause, but when push comes to shove and you bail, well, anybody can be a sunshine patriot. It's another thing to sit through Valley Forge. And I know he doesn't want to get put in torture cuffs or go put in a rape cage. And he thinks the cops are going to kill him or whatever, but he's worried about his butthole. But that's his problem. Yeah. Oh, man. It's not the easiest stuff. Walk us through the field sobriety test. Okay, here's the walkthrough. Don't do them. Imagine if you were taking a test. Okay? Because a field sobriety... Actually, here, hold on. We'll bring this up. Let's see here if I can find the one. I wish I had it here. Oh, this... Okay, yeah. Here you go. Well, hold on. Is this... Hold on. I'm trying to find a good picture of one. The one the Ohio State Highway Patrol uses. Ohio State Highway Patrol. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. All right, let me share this bad boy. Oh, Divinity, you're here. Hello, hope you're doing well. Share Chrome. Okay, you know what? Hold on. I'll put this down for a second. Okay, so call Bobby Coleslaw. Yeah, I read his legal documents. He ripped off that guy in Toledo. That's some bullshit for $1,000. I'll tell you that much. So was technically following orders by staying away from the police? Yes, but he also said he was going to go to a public function, which was the city auctioning off cars that had been impounded, which he goes there thinking it's all people with stolen cars, but half of them are like wrecked cars the city ended up dealing with. He said he was going to be there and he wanted people to show up and people to show up armed. None of that was illegal, and all the cops showed up in response, but he said something constitutionally protected. It was constitutionally protected activity. What he did by showing up was constitutionally protected. He did not break the law when he was there. He did not do anything illegal. And the cops ended up showing up, responding to him. So what is he supposed to do? I mean, if he's doing legal things at that point, I don't think it's fair for him to be considered violating his bond if he's committing legal activities when solely the restriction was don't interact with the cops. Okay. I mean, it sounds like he engaged with one or two of them, but they're there. And I mean, at some point, it's a little, there's got to be, once again, is that what that bond was intended to be? No, I think it's so he doesn't like hassle them when they're at home or while they're working and he runs up to them. But like he said he was going to be somewhere, so they showed up. Well, that's kind of, that's not fair to him. And I think if he had made that argument, and hell, I would have made that argument, that this was kind of nonsense the way the judge worded it and that it was worded poorly. It could have been worded differently. That, yeah, but instead he ran off. So, yeah, he's got a thing about buttholes. A lot of things about buttholes. So, anyways, you guys you're asking about a field sobriety test. Okay. So here's an example of one. And we're going to zoom in on it, okay? Oh, wow, this is not working. Like, can I zoom in? This is a shitty PDF thing. Hold on, maybe I'll have to save this and download it for... Does this show up in a way you guys can read it? Okay. So if you guys are watching, looking at this, hold on here. I'm going to take myself off the screen. I mean, look at this. There's different things as far as instructions go. And the horizontal gaze nystagmus is the one where they take the pen and they go in front of your eyes like this. And they're trying to detect the eye jiggling. And they'll go up and they'll go down and they're shining the light in your eyes to see if they can see your eyes move. Okay, and the way they're trained is apparently when you're intoxicated, your pupil, instead of just evenly tracking, goes like this. And that's how they determine it. You also have the one leg stand where they make you stand there and they make you raise 1 foot and they make you count. And they make you count to 30. There's other tests they make you perform. And so they make you do it for 30 seconds. Now, when you do the clues here, and the clues for the nystagmus are lack of smooth pursuit. And that's where it's like ding, 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 ding. Okay. When there's nystagmus, if it's there, when your eye is at the edge of its vision, it goes bump, bump, bump. It goes basically right at the end, it goes bump, 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 bump. It's trying to catch. There's the onset of nystagmus prior to 45 degrees is another clue that you're very intoxicated, supposedly. And they do it for the left and the right eyes. Okay, and then they score it. They do another one called the walk and turn. This is where you walk and you do heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. And they make you walk down a line. And this is where I hate this, real or imaginary. Well, how the hell do I know where the line is? No, it should be a real line. Whether that line is a crack in a sidewalk, it's the line in a parking lot, it's a differentiation between concrete and asphalt. There needs to be a line. It needs to be a one you can follow. If it's imaginary, then how do you know where the line is? And then you walk heel toe, take 9 steps, and then you make a little turn and you come back. There's clues for that the person starts things too soon. You stop while you're walking. You miss heel to toe. You step off the line. You use your arms to balance. You turn improperly. You don't count the number of steps. Then you also have here. You also have the one leg stand where you stand on one leg and count to 30. If you sway, use your arms to balance. Hop or put your foot down. Notice here when they say, even if they, especially for this one, can't perform test stopped or not requested for suspect safety. Well, sometimes they can't do it. Or let's say you're like, you got a cast on one, your foot's got a cast, or it's icy out or something's dangerous. Assign all observed clues. There's alternate test. If you're over 65 years of age, or if they claim there's an injury, they make you do an alphabet. They say, start at like F and end at T. Count fingers, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing. The Romberg, you tell them to close their eyes and you tilt your head back for 30 seconds. If you're sober, you shouldn't move, but that doesn't mean you don't have stability issues. But yeah, supposedly if you're drunk or you have mental impairments, you'll kind of bob and weave. The nose touch, that's where you do the like this and you go boom, 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 boom. You don't have that if you're drunk, you don't have that spatial ability. Now, see, here it says suspect is not intoxicated or suspect is intoxicated. The fact you scored perfectly on this doesn't mean you're not drunk. The fact you scored perfectly on this just means that you did well on it. So what does that mean? Well, I can pass all of those and still reek of alcohol and drive my car like a dumbass. I may have only passed, and had one or two little things here and there. It's a test you cannot pass successfully. Either there's indicators you're intoxicated or the cop decides there aren't. And if he decides they're not there, he can still arrest you. Okay? For example, if you don't breathe in a breathalyzer machine, you can be at 0.04. And if you get out of the car and fall straight on your face, obviously you're impaired and you're intoxicated. But it's all up to the officer. If the officer says, I think he smelled like alcohol. I thought his eyes were glossy. I don't think he did the test well. I think this was a step wrong. I think he didn't take the test properly. I don't think this occurred, that occurred, that occurred, that occurred. It's subjective. So it's a subjectively graded test that you actually can never pass. It's like a polygraph. There is no pass. There is, we detected the presence of deception or we did not. It's not likely. There is no he's telling the truth. It's just we didn't detect deception. That doesn't mean it wasn't there. We didn't detect it. So, and like polygraphs, they're voodoo on top of it, but you can never pass them, so don't ever do them. The way you do a field sobriety test is say, I decline. If they give you the portable breathalyzer machine and say, here, will you blow into this machine for us, sir? I decline. Now, in some countries, like if you live in Australia or I think in New Zealand and maybe in Canada. Well, I don't think Canada, but I think maybe in Britain. They have portable breathalyzers that are calibrated and are correct. You have to. But if you're here in America, no portable breathalyzer can be used because they're not reliable in that way. But then becomes a separate issue. The cops might say, okay, here's a cup, or here's the breathalyzer, here's a cup pee in it. Here, we're going to get a blood sample. Well, if they get a warrant, the game's up at that point. But if they if they ask you to submit to a urine test and or a breathalyzer test, well, that's your decision. You'll be penalized for refusing, but if you blow and positive, if you blow over 0.08, you're still going to get hammered. And really, let's be honest, if you blow at like a 0.04, they're probably still going to take your license and say you're impaired. So, I would argue the less you do to help them, the more you're helping your attorney. So I would refuse. I would refuse a urine test. I would refuse a breathalyzer machine. If they get a warrant, well, you're going to have to give them your blood. You try to fight them, you're kind of screwed. So where did I stop? I'm trying to go back through this. So yeah, or Tweety, I hope that made sense. Yeah, I'm try that joke with them. I'm sure they will laugh at that. You guys are hilarious. Cops don't like pushback? Sure they don't, but you don't have to. And to be fair, they can say, oh, I didn't breathalyze this person because he smelled like alcohol and vomit was all over himself and, he couldn't stand up straight. Okay, so yeah, they can prove you're intoxicated at that point. But for most cases, they're going to want a breathalyzer or they're going to want a urine test. So I would tell you, I would never consent to them. Linda Marie, thank you. I don't think I've seen you around before. Yeah, in many cultures, having Marie or Maria as a middle name is a family tie or religious thing. Yeah, it's not yeah. So, and I don't know in Chili's case why his family named him how they did. They have their reasons. So, yeah, it's normal. Makes sense. Yes, where's the written test? The Romberg test. Are you a doctor? Holy shit. Okay, the Romberg. Yeah, are you doctor? I decline. Here's your. Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you decline, you get arrested. I mean, here's the thing. If the police are asking you for that to do the field sobriety test, they're already pretty damn sure you're intoxicated, and they're probably going to arrest you anyway. I mean, there's no that's already happened. That cake has been baked. They've decided you're drunk, and they decided they're going to arrest you. They're doing the field sobriety test to stack up and create more evidence. Okay, that way they could say, "Look, the guy couldn't stand up. He was weaving and bobbing and boobling." And he couldn't walk in a straight line, so we arrested him. And he couldn't do his ABCs, and he sounded like this when he talked, and because that's on camera. Yeah, that's all evidence to be used against you. So yes, you're going to get arrested at that point. You should make your peace with that fact. You should kind of make your peace with God. You're going to get arrested because yeah, it's going to happen. No, there's no multiple choice, JC. Just don't drink and drive, sure. But there are cops who have wrongfully arrested people for drinking and driving or driving while under the influence of drugs. It's happened a lot. I mean, it's not happened a lot, but it's happened enough that's an issue. There are police officers who are called drug recognition experts, so they can tell what types of drugs you're in the influence of. I mean, hell, there's a great example of that. Hold on here. We'll find this. Where is it? Where is the one I wanted to show you guys? Trying to find the one. Okay, I haven't found it, but there's one where literally the cop arrested the guy and said, "I think you're in the influence of X, Y, and Z," and he goes and the guy gets a charge with a DUI. So they make him take a urine test. It comes back clean, and the cop says, "Well, I still think he was under the influence." Drug recognition is a bunch of voodoo. You go in for like a weekend and they train you, and you're done. Drug recognition stuff is kind of bullshit. So I mean, it's not that simple. If the cops decide they want to arrest you, they could say you're drunk and that's it. So I mean, well, don't drink and drive. Okay, well, that's not going to stop the cops from doing something they want to do them. Cops are going to do what they're going to do, yes, but if they're asking you to get out of the car and do test, you're probably getting arrested no matter what happens. Now, they may cite you and release you or something like that, but you're going to get arrested and probably get taken down to the station at the very least. No, I understand you went to med school, but I mean, like, are you a doctor? No, they're not fuzzy bracelets. Is Jussie Smollett ever going back to jail? Probably if his appeal fails, but that's going to take a while, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. I have like one time, and that was in college. And I don't know what the hell happened, but the guy did. Okay, yes, Ethan. So yes, you could pass it with no marks on it, and yes, okay, yes, hard to charge. Yes, funny guy. I quit after 2 years, then I went to law school. Well, you still became a doctor. It still says doctor on your degree, so it's kind of like being a real doctor. At least that's what I tell my brother, and he gets mad when I point that out. Yes, he would have to serve that sentence. Yeah, I've had a client. I defended one of my. This is one of the. I had a felony case for that. A guy had multiple DUIs in his past, got his final DUI on a bicycle. So he had felony DUI while on a bicycle. Was looking at 30 months in prison because he was riding a bicycle. And where was he at? In the middle of a busy downtown? He run somebody over? No, he was out in the boondocks on like where the roads have letters like Road H, like County Road H. So, yeah. Jesse's appeal, I think they're working on the appeal now. It takes time to put it together. So, I bet his attorneys are working on it. Well, they do have some like the more official you get into an agency, like your highway patrols will have people who can do skid mark measurements and stuff like that. And there are actual scientific formulas for a lot of that. So there is some indicia of scientific reliability. But yeah, if you're like at the Gooberville Heights Police Department, yeah, your guy who's your crash expert isn't like a physics expert or a guy who's had a ton of training, most likely. I mean, yeah, and I wish I could show you the interview, but they interview the guy, the cop, and he said, well, I don't care. I think he still was impaired. But that was the drug recognition expert thing. Like, otherwise, the cops aren't going to arrest you if you're a sober person, unless you're something like diabetic, like having diabetes, having some neurological issues. There are things that do look like you're intoxicated. So at times that can happen. But for the most part, if you're walking around the street and you're like, hey, what's up? You're probably not going to ever get confused for being intoxicated. Yeah, that's what I mean. After a while, yeah, you start doing a lot of time very quickly. I've driven away after a field sobriety test. I mean, unless you happen to like be driving home from work and they thought you were sleepy or something. I mean, good for you, Tweety. I hope you bought a lottery ticket, but not a lot of people do. Well, yes, Critter, but you're like a really good person. I don't think you ever get in trouble. So you seem like the type of person who couldn't, even if you wanted to. You're like too nice. And I say that in a good way. She meant underwear skid marks. Oof. I have 1000% more alcohol. Join Joe at 10:20. Well, if Joe wants me on, he can have me on, but I don't know how he's gonna get a hold of me because I don't have Twitter right now. I have my burner account, but he doesn't have my Twitter handle. So I don't think that's gonna happen tonight. But that's his choice. I don't really try to barge on. So my physician wife will not call me doctor. Ha. Well, I mean, it says doctor on your thing, so she can't tell you no. You're going to tell your physician wife that she can't read then because it says doctor on your paper. I tell my uncle who's a doctor, I are doctor too. And yes, he's a real surgeon, so he says, no, you're not, but I still are doctor. Oh, yes, I remember this lady. Yes. And she got drugged out of the courtroom and kind of like faked being sick and stuff. Yeah. Joeish. Yeah. Yep. I did remember that one. That was funny. You can tell who are newly minted PhDs because they care about being called doctor or not. Yeah, but there are some people who keep that, they end up being really pretentious. So, read TikTok terms of service. I bet many of you deleted afterwards. What's in the terms of service, Chris? I mean, if they want a picture of my junk or something, they don't have to hide. I'll give it to them for free. Did I miss lots of fun in the past hour? I mean, I didn't get drunk and think of Joe as an Autobot or a Decepticon. So no, you didn't miss too much. Yes, the YouTube shorts are annoying enough. Yes, they are awful. Okay, we might read that one night for a live stream. Maybe next weekend or something. We'll look that up. It's almost 3 hours now. Yeah, I got some other stuff I gotta. Ooh, it is 10 o'clock. Oh, I agree. That doesn't necessarily mean you're a good doctor or a good attorney or a good philosopher or a good person in education. Yes, it just means you checked all the boxes. Now, generally speaking, most of them are competent, but you're right. That it does not mean anything specifically. Junk. No. What? Oh, well, yeah, well, you're not going to get those from me. Only if you join the OnlyFans. So, but yeah, Chris, I'll look into that. See if I can find that and copy of it and read it. Hold on. How do I do the thing here? Hold on. Well, Joe's not on yet, so oh, actually, here it is. Oh, he's going to cover Chris Chan? Oh my gosh, Joe. That is hilarious if you do that. Oh my god, I would Joe learning about Chris Chan. I want to see Joe's reaction to learning about Chris Chan. That is an amazing story. So it's great watching somebody who's almost a boomer learning about some of this memery and the lore. Well, that's nice the cop did that, but can't count on the cops doing that anymore. Just because you're innocent does not mean you did not do it. I mean, yeah, innocent people have been convicted of crimes, innocent people have been charged of crimes. It happens sometimes. It'll enlighten. Okay. Oh my god, are you talking about being there for me reading the terms? Okay. The dimensional merge is happening, yes. Don't dead name him, it's him. Especially in that case. I mean, China recently discovered Chris Chan. Oh my word. They're going to think we're all like that. And then they're going to invade Taiwan thinking like he's in charge. Poor little son eats you. Also, if you guys go, I don't know where. I think it's on Kiwi Farms. There's a video of him like as a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old who won some sort of Sonic competition, and just watching him on there, you can like see what's going on, and you can already see like things already set in motion. I'm not. If he says it happened, sometimes that does happen here in America still once in a while. Not very rare, not very commonly. But to say that would never happen again, always and never are dangerous words because you're just setting yourself up to kind of get, owned when you do that. Yeah, that may have been like the initial, like that was the first domino that flick and set all the dominoes in motion. Oh, maybe I do. Go to the bar and stay past closed. Then they think you work there. Maybe. Stephanie, hi. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Do I think the internet contributed to Chris Chan's fall into insanity and social decay, or was he destined to be a loon from the start? I mean, it sounds like he had mental health issues to start with. Do I think the internet exacerbated them? I mean, it seems like it did because it seems like it's turned, there's times where it's caused him to be combative. And certainly, if you're it certainly didn't help his mental health issues. I think it also became a vehicle and a way to enhance and make them more profound and have more affecting, more widespread damage. And that he was able to show the world, not just the people in his neighborhood or the people he'd interact with locally, but yeah, it spread all over the world. Do I think he probably would have done what he's done anyway? I would have to say yes. I don't think the internet caused him to go crazy. It wasn't the gangster rap. It wasn't the violent video games. He was already going to do this. It just made it more pronounced and we were able to see it. Listen to Rogan's Theo Von episode. They talk about TikTok terms. All right, I'll have to do that. Yeah, he would have done that anyway. Is he legally insane? I doubt it. I mean, to be legally insane in a criminal context, you had to have had like no control over your thoughts. Like, what you had no idea what you were doing is wrong, or in some states, you suffered from mental disease or defect which prevented you from doing it. No, I don't think he's going to be able to demonstrate that. Do I think his mom? Yeah, maybe she helped. Chris would have ended up in the same boat. Yeah, I think that's totally true. His problem was bad parenting. No, I mean, if you've got mental health issues, your parenting is not going to fix that. Treatment fixes that. It doesn't help that his mom kind of lost her mind and had Alzheimer's. So if that was the only people in his life, some states that doesn't actually count. Some states it's suffering from a mental defect or a cognitive impairment. Some states don't have the right from wrong standard. There's actually kind of like a hybrid of like 4 insanity standards in America, but really it comes down to 2 big divides. Did you know what you're doing is wrong at the time, or do you suffer from a cognitive defect? If you don't suffer from the cognitive defect or impairment, you can't use insanity in some states. Some states is pretty strict. I forget what they all are. Yeah, I know. I agree. I think that's a pretty correct thing. Pay Bobby Law or Fred. I'd love to talk to Bobby Law. Bobby Coleslaw. He has no idea what he's doing. Maybe you could argue the internet, it just helps people speed run through their problems and get to the end quicker. So they crash and burn quicker, and they crash and burn in a bigger way. But I don't, those people would be trudging along that trajectory anyway. The internet just kind of maybe speeds it up. I think you could probably make an argument. Yeah, yes, I think so with that. Oh, Chaucer, I get what you're saying now. Okay, yes, the second part of it, yes, I think that's the case. I thought you meant the whole crime thing, but yes, the crime thing and then his transition, yes, I think the internet helped fuel that. Certainly. And I think Bill Maher's right. Yes, either Kansas is suppressing him or California is growing him. And I don't think that's the case. I think Abigail Shire is right. You have a social contagion issue. And people like to say, oh, kids aren't manipulable like that. What do you think? Like, I remember as a kid watching all these girls fawn over NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees, like O-Town, all that crap. And then for kids, like, getting boys to buy tennis shoes or getting boys to buy a video game or, when Vans were the big thing or, having a Mongoose bike with peg bars on it. Like, that was all the hot shit. Like, kids are manipulable and they are malleable and you can get them to buy stuff all the time. So, I mean, like Furbies, insert whatever toy that's been around, Tickle Me Elmos. You can get kids to buy into anything. So, yes, I think that part is correct, but, maybe he still would have come up to that issue anyway. I don't know. But even if that didn't exist, I think what he did to his mom, he was probably on course for doing anyway. Yeah, my youngest daughter's fairly mentally ill, and I like to think I was a fairly good parent. It's got less to do with your upbringing than some might think. Oh, I totally think so. Um, certainly if you're a bad parent, you could exacerbate the issues and cause, trauma and other things to build on top of it. But yeah, and I hope your daughter is well. I hope she's kind of hope she has been treated. I hope she's staying in treatment. Hope she's, working coping skills and all that stuff because, yeah, I don't want to see anybody suffer. And hope she's in a good spot. And in turn, you frosted the tips of your hair and wore Jinko pants. Okay, I wore Jinko stuff, but I did not frost the tips of my hair. I was not that kid. Did not do that. But I did wear Jinko. I did wear, Arrow stuff. And, that was when, like, Abercrombie and Fitch exploded. So, yeah. I wore some stuff, but I did not frost my tips. Beanie Babies. Yeah, Beanie Babies is another one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because it sounds like the only person who is got really bad Alzheimer's now. Chaucer, that's that could be why that's an increase in the community, but maybe. Tramp stamps, LOL. I had midnight blue hair. The Furbies are creepy. He said I could see you and the batteries got lost. Yeah, Furbies were weird, but the 90s were a weird time for kids. Did I listen to new metal? Yeah, I mean a little bit. Before it was a sign of mental illness, funny colored hair that is. Yeah, back, go back into the 90s. Like if you had dyed your hair was like blue, you'd be like, oh, that kid's like a punk rocker, like totally like some sort of like crazy like outsider thing, and have a big old mohawk and stuff. But yeah, now it's just like a warning color. But yeah, back in the day, I remember that. Danny Masterson. Gosh, you guys know these by name, and I don't remember them by name as much less as what they did. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, okay, Danny Masterson, wait, what? Oh my god, what is his name? He's got rape allegations? He's a Scientologist? No way. Holy shit, this is fucked up. They made you sign a binding arbitration agreement and they want you to... Oh damn, we're gonna have to... Okay, we're reading this one and then I'm probably done for the night, but holy shit, this is like 100% real. Sorry, we're using long cuck because they've got it down. Okay. What's your favorite band? Cold Chamber. I like Cold... Okay. Why do people not like Cold Chamber? They weren't that bad. I mean, like, were they the best? No, but Cold Chamber wasn't bad at all. I mean, there were a lot of shitty music in the 90s. There was a lot of good music, but Cold Chamber, they're okay. Yeah, he was on that 70s show. Oh, he's Danny Hyde, yeah. Stephen Hyde, yeah. Wow. When I was a teenager, I thought new metal and hardcore is basically emo metal. No, but I just, I thought new metal was like hard. And then when I got to like high school, I found the hard stuff then, which was fun. Learning about the good stuff. Cold Chamber were cringy. No, they weren't. There was a lot of cringy music back then, but they were not cringy. Okay, yeah, Dead Z. I didn't like Dead Z, but anyway, we're gonna get to this one Because this is definitely all sorts of weird. Okay. He's asking, and so somebody's asking about his trial thing. Yeah, Stephanie, I never heard about this, and this is hilarious that Scientology's going this crazy. We're going to get to that one, Adam. Don't you worry. I do think this is interesting, though, from a contractual standpoint. A rape accuser's binding and religious arbitration. Because there are times where you can have contracts. So contracts can agree between two people of cultural and ethnic sets that like you might agree to a Sharia court or a Muslim court adjudicating things or a Jewish court adjudicating things. That happens. And a court can say, well, you're consenting to be tried, and you're not necessarily like legal like criminal things, but like who has the right in the contract dispute. So that's not out of the ordinary. But yes, they're forcing their religious to submit to internal arbitration before settling a dispute. He faces an upcoming rape trial. Ooh, I didn't know that was coming, but yeah, that'd be interesting. Whoa, okay. Okay, yeah, they describe the allegations as rape. Okay, and this is where, yes, and here's the thing. And they talk about, so petitioners in this writ are former members of the Church of Scientology who reported to the police that another church member had raped them. They allege in that retaliation, the church encourages members to engage in a vicious harassment campaign against them. After the petitioners brought this suit in Superior Court against the church for the people harassing them, the defendants moved to compel arbitration relying on agreements that all disputes within the church would be resolved according to the church's own ethics, justice, and binding religious arbitration system. If you guys haven't seen Going Clear, I would not want to be subjected to L. Ron Hubbard's ethics, justice, and binding arbitration. Or if you've not watched Leah Remini's like Escaping Scientology, yeah, you don't want to be part of that. The system was created to decide matters in accordance with Scientology. Well, if they're not in the church anymore, then how can they be bound by it? And I think the Church of California, I haven't read this, but yeah, you have the right to relieve a religion. And once exactly what I was going to say. Once you terminate your affiliation, you're not bound to its procedures. I mean, once you quit going to whatever religion you're in, you're quit being an adherent to it. You're not bound by its rules anymore. Apparently, though, they were forced to go into arbitration. That's insane. But that's California. So here are the two questions, though, they want the Supreme Court to address. Where a parishioner freely executes the arbitration agreement, well, but they've left. So how long is that arbitration agreement good for? You're no longer with the company. You're no longer part of it. Yeah, they're claiming it happened while you were there, but you're no longer involved with them. I don't see how they have the ability to force that document, because then the government's endorsing religion for the same reason why a court can't enforce a racist housing restriction, because then the government's promoting racism, which is against the law. Wow, that's fucking crazy. That is crazy. Sean's Jam and definitely Creed. Everybody listened to Creed back in the 90s. Time and time again. That's pretty much my Eddie Vedder impression, though, too. But yes, it was definitely Creed. And don't lie, you listened to it, too. You also listened to Alter Bridge as well, probably. Cannibal Corpse isn't bad. Creed Lamau. Cold Chamber put out an album 4 or 5 years ago. I'll have to listen to it. Mudvayne, Max is okay. Max, I don't mind Mudvayne too much. Wasn't big on them. Yeah, LD was good. Yeah, Pantera is great. Pantera is awesome. I love Pantera. I'll have to look at that up. Yes, F that cult shit. Yes, they also destroy anybody inside the cult. I mean, pretty much as everybody they destroy. Oh yeah, I know they harass and go after people, but I don't see how this is going to stand up. I think the California Court of Appeals got it right. Yes, 1,000 years. Oh, Lamb of God is great. I like Lamb of God though. They do some pretty cool shit. And Amon Amarth, like, hey, if you don't like Finnish death metal, I don't know what to tell you. There's so much good stuff out there. So, you know, who else was I looking for? Also, I don't know. Could you call Lamb of God really like a Pantera copy? I don't know, but if you like Lamb of God, you'll probably like Amon Amarth. They're yeah, like I said, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can, but certainly they inspired a lot of bands. Yeah, you're right, but it's still. Ever hear Mel Gibson's song with Lamb of God? No. I want to hear this now. Hold on here. Was Joe not started yet? Jeez, I was going to send people over when he shows up. I mean, guys, I was just going to go on for another minute or two till Joe comes on, but sorry, marking some stuff down. Lamb of God, Mel Gibson. No. Oh, are you okay? Wait, okay. Yeah, I've heard the like. Okay, yeah, if that's what you're talking about, yes, I've heard like the mashup, but like I thought Mel Gibson actually went and did a song. Like that would have been really freaking cool. So no, that's tricking me. You tricking me. Eric, you telling me no lies. So I like it here. Well, I do too. I like it here as well. So, all right, guys, that's been 3 hours. I'm going to wrap it up. I got some stuff I got to do and work on. So, that's it for tonight. Take care. I think Joe's going to be on in a little bit. Our favorite semi. He's a Decepticon too. Some might think, depending on how you feel. So, thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Yes, thank you, Linda. Appreciate it. Yeah, smash that button. People say smash the like button. I'm like, just click on it. Click on it. Don't smash it. It didn't consent. Don't do that. Don't smash it. It's usury in disguise. Yeah, I think that's like something else somebody said. Thanks, Patricia. My life is, yeah, so is mine. So Joe just signed in. All right, well, I'll probably be heading over there and listening to him while I do stuff. So, good night, guys. Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty.